The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink!
Stop! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, October 15th, 2024. This program starts now. Football seemingly never stops delivering the news. There is massive news in the NFL world today involving the quarterback and guest in hour two that'll be joining us. The New York Jets have officially traded for Davante Adams.
Wow.
That news was broke publicly this morning at 10:05 a.m.-ish. Rap Sheet got it first. Shefty had to give his credit. Now, there was a lot of different what's it for, what are they giving up, and I think everybody landed on the fact that New York Jets traded a third-round pick that could be a second-round pick. Remember, the Raiders were not going to trade. Mark Davis was not going to trade Davante Adams unless you got a second-round pick and, right? He wanted a little bit more. Second hand. Allegedly, teams are reaching out saying, will you move the goalposts a little bit here? Can't be doing second hand. Probably a one-year deal. We got this situation brewing. We got that situation brewing. We're already this far into the season. So now we learned that the New York Jets, we'll find out more from Aaron Rodgers on when this all took place, either last night or this morning, called over and offered up a third that could become a second if Davante Adams is a first or second team all-pro player, which is voted on by the media. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, media kind of gets to decide whether or not it goes to a conditional second-round pick instead of a third-round pick, or if he's on the active roster in the AFC Championship or the Super Bowl. So after losing on Monday night to the Buffalo Bills last night, the Jets once again announced to the world, we are trying to win everything. They fired Coach Saleh last week on a Tuesday. Why? Well, because they're saying not good enough. We're trying to win everything. You know, and I talked to Greeny last night before that kickoff of the Monday night game, and Greeny will be joining us in about 18 minutes. This news was broke 5 minutes after his show ended this morning. Okay,
Yep.
So just like last week, as soon as the show ends, this stuff happens to Greeny. Can't wait to hear his thoughts. He said that last night, under Coach Brick's first interim head coaching experience, with Dahn calling the plays and Aaron, this is either the beginning of something or the end of everything.
Oh.
Now, a couple missed kicks, obviously a late turnover that happens. We'll talk to Aaron about it all. Is the reason why the Jets lose to the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen's able to do some magical things. But how does Greeny feel now? Because last week they lose in London. What's the story? Coach Saleh was fired.
Yep.
This time they lose on Monday Night Football in the division to AFC East rival Buffalo Bills. What's the story? We just added Davante Adams.
Boom.
So I think there's a lot to potentially still be optimistic about whenever you see how the team is operating. They're still trying to move. They're still trying to go all in. They're still trying to take advantage of the fact that their fans had hope before the season started because you have a Hall of Fame, Mount Rushmore quarterback leading an offense with a great defense. Well, let's talk about that defense a little bit. Last night gave up a lot of yardage to a rookie.
Yeah.
A lot of yards. Last couple of weeks, been some points. But if they're able to get back to what we think they can be, and they are still, in that offense under Dahn, after that first drive, we thought, here we go. They got it. Settle for a field goal.
Yep.
They were 1 for 4 last night in the red zone. I think for the season, they're like 18th in the NFL in the red zone, which Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams have been red zone monsters over the years. So that immediately helps them in one specific, very important factor, you would think, with the Jets adding Davante there. But after the loss everything's in front of them. Team's going all in. Excited to hear how Greeny thinks. Let's go to the talk table at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Con man, good game last night in the AFC.
Absolutely. After Sunday and how big of a bummer Last night started out perfectly. Right away, the Jets go down. You mentioned they kick a field goal. Bills answer right away, drive down the entire field. Josh Allen, little Russian touchdown for those first touchdown.
Second tush push.
Yeah.
There was a first tush push.
Got the little false start or
back it up. Yeah. Let's get back up in it. Let's tush push again.
Yeah, get back up there with Ray Davis. How you doing? James Cook not playing. Ray Davis comes in, basically ran all over the Jets as well. But then right after that, Jets go down, score with Garrett Wilson. Great answer. And then there's a little bit of a stall from the Jets. You mentioned the red zone, but really they didn't have much going. That second quarter was all Bills. They kind of took over 2010, and then that Hail Mary. It was magnificent. Filthy.
And this guy, Hail Mary, the only Russian 2 against Aaron Rodgers. I don't know, there's a couple highlights in the past of Aaron Rodgers throwing this thing to the sky and dropping it down. Lazard ends up being the one that catches this. Nobody boxing him out, DB, 9-year NFL vet. What's that all about?
Got to box him out.
Well, he is kind of, but he's bent down. He's trying to back it up.
Got to get your hand on that ball and not try to catch it. And to your point, Russian 2, Russian 3, giving Aaron Rodgers all that time. Belichick was on the Manning cast. As soon as the play started, he started rush. Oh, yeah, throw the Hail Mary. I'm always in the mindset of get some pressure after him, make him get rid of it, and then just make a tackle. You got 50 yards to get a guy down. But this is, fourth Hail Mary now, and kind of obviously changed the momentum of this game going into the halftime.
It certainly did. Got them on the board 2017 going into halftime.
Yeah, unbelievable. And then the second half, a lot happened, but let's just say the penalties were a little much. Okay.
What do you mean?
There were a lot of flags on that field, and people were not happy about it.
Oh, yeah, I think Aaron even said something about it after the game at his press conference when people were saying Aaron might get fined for this, actually.
Penalties tonight?
Yeah, it seemed a little ridiculous. Some of them seemed really bad, including the roughing the passer on me. That's not roughing the passer.
Okay.
I was about to play sarcastic ball if we're going to call those things. And I thought the one on Kinlaw was not roughing the passer either. So.
D-Butts, what's sarcastic ball a reference to?
No clue.
Oh,
Didn't even look it up. That's on me. Right hand up.
Shout out to the boys over there. Big brains. Brains. You know how good he felt with that sarcastic ball?
Yes.
South Park reference in the moment. But anyways, to your point about the penalties in the second half, what else happened in the second half? Anything other than the refs trying to take over a game, con man, which is what everybody's saying.
Yeah, I will say something else happened, and maybe Jason Kelsey has a point here. The kickers completely screwed the whole entire game for both teams.
Fair.
Almost for the Bills with Bass. He missed a huge field goal, and then Greg No Leg is what they're calling him today.
No, they're not.
Because he just clang once, and then the second one might have been the loudest clang I've ever heard in my entire life. I'm not kidding. This thing rang through.
You ever go up to a urinal and have somebody with a leaf blower blowing next to you?
Oh, yeah.
You ever do that?
No, never.
Yeah,
No, but
never.
I get it back to the urinal.
Well, maybe not.
Play the wind.
Maybe not first. That wind was insane. Do you see these balls dodging, ducking, dipping, and diving through the air? They look like Tim Wakefield kicks all over the place.
I thought we were going to use MetLife to the Jets' advantage. I thought that was the whole entire thing. And plus,
Greg Legg's in a little bit of a slump right now.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit of a slump.
A little bit. I'm assuming he's waking up like, holy shit, I just got Mike Williams benched because they traded for Davante Adams because of me. I honestly think there's a chance that's what Greg the Leg is saying when he's rolling over this morning in bed.
Well, I don't know how Greg the Leg and Mike Williams' relationship is, but it does sound as if Mike Williams and the New York Jets offense have yet to fully simpatico. I think that was mentioned afterwards. We'll ask Aaron about that. A lot of people are wondering, what you always make it so easy on Aaron. How about whenever he messes up? We bring up everything. Okay? Now, granted, however he decides to chit-chat about it, that is on him 100%. We will certainly bring it up on this particular play that sealed the game for the Buffalo Bills. Phenomenal catch by Taron Johnson or whatever. I mean, he nosedives into that thing, makes a play. Insane interception, obviously, to end the game. That's back-to-back weeks now, late interceptions. I assume Aaron's not necessarily thrilled about that. He said in his answer afterwards, Mike Williams ran a wrong route on that particular play. Now, people obviously saying he's throwing people under the bus. It could have won. We'll see what he has to say about it all. And now that Davante is a member of the Jets, what does the future look like for the weapons? Garrett Wilson getting that rock going fast. He obviously looks. He looks very, very fast.
Allen, Lazard, and him clearly still on the same page.
And Hembo stats here. Most touchdowns by quarterback and receiver duo from 2017 to 2021. Okay, so that was the last time that Aaron and Davante were together. Number 3 in the NFL with 39 touchdowns for the duo. Remember this team? Kirk Cousins, Adam Thielen.
Wow.
You remember that? You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Adam just told me to vote the other day. I registered to vote the other day.
Thank you,
I
Dad.
saw him on that commercial.
Did you?
I saw him.
Get healthy soon, Adam.
Did I registered to vote whenever Duck Hodges, Lane
That's
Wilson's boyfriend, told me.
Just making sure.
That was years ago when he was an undefeated quarterback.
Oh, I thought when it was another campaign a few years ago too.
Yeah, vote or die? Is that the one you're
Whoa, 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 whoa.
That
Very interesting how that happened, though, if you look back on the time and the things that we know now, allegedly.
Yeah, well.
Anyways, 2017 and 2021, also a very topical time.
Yeah, right.
Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, they had 41 touchdowns together. Remember that?
Hell
That was
yeah.
an unstoppable force.
Sure was.
Holy hell. Then Tyreek Hill goes and takes massive contract in Miami, and then the Chiefs go on to win a couple more Super Bowls. Then, who's number one, though, from 2017 and 2021? Most touchdowns by a quarterback and a wide receiver here. Do you have a guess?
I want Dak and CD Lamb.
Nope. One half of the hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys, AP Tone. Do you have a guess who it is? Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers.
Oh.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Because they're back together now.
Sure.
You see, 52 touchdowns. So
That's a
52 for them. Mahomes and Tyreek Hill had 41. Kirk Cousins, Adam Thielen had 39 in that entire thing. Aaron Rodgers is currently the 27th ranked quarterback versus man coverage this season. Okay. Across his last two seasons in Green Bay, 2020 and 2021, Davante Adams led the NFL with 141 receptions and 1,800 plus receiving yards versus man coverage.
Jeez.
Okay, so seemingly the things that Aaron is in his offense not being great at right now, and there's a lot of people saying, you're going to bring Davante Adams in, that's going to change everything for the New York Jets. What are you talking about? It's like red zone. They are not great at. They're in the middle of the pack. That could obviously help them a little bit. Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers in the red zone are speaking their own language. Okay, in the same offense that Downing's now calling instead, but it's the same offense. They do their thing. And then man-to-man coverage, it's like you got Garrett out there. They're going to have to do something, you know. Lazard's cooking, obviously. They got weapons, so you're going to have opportunities with Davante and Aaron, number one in the league, basically, whenever it comes to that. So those are two very important situations that Davante's addition seemingly helps them out immensely. Yeah. Should Jets fans be excited about Davante Adams? Is this going to be a new team? Because right now, if we look at the divisions, let's look at the AFC East. It's a shit show. The AFC East is by far the worst division. A lot of lower numbers on the left side. Can we go to the, yep, there we go. Now, can we go to, yeah, there we go. Look at the AFC East versus everybody else. 1-5, 2-4, 2-3, 4-2. Okay, not good, but that means anybody could go and get it. Now the Buffalo Bills obviously massive win last night against the Jets, but the Jets sitting at 2-4 right now, leader at 4-2. Does this addition at this stage of the season really do something for the dreams and aspirations for this Jets team? Is that how fans should be viewing this?
Yes, because you obviously still believe in the defense. Now you're sitting at 2-4, obviously not the best spot, but it's still all available to you. So you expect the defense to play better. And then when you bring a guy in like Davante Adams, it is a same offense, but with Todd Downing, what he specialized in, according to my co-host NFL Matchup, Greg Cosell, a lot of 11 personnel. So that's a lot of one running back, one tight end, 3 receivers on the field. So you open it up a little bit more. And then as a defense, we got to decide pre-snap who we're going to focus on. It's going to be Garrett Wilson. It's going to be Davante. It's going to be trying to limit the running game with Breece Hall. So now you open up the field more with the Davante Adams, who I believe, once again, is still in his prime. And I'm sure that hamstring will be, pretty healed up.
Couple weeks into a hamstring injury now, obviously natural for muscles to recover.
Yep, absolutely.
Right on time.
Acupuncture, a little treatment. He'll be ready. And I think Aaron, a little bit of rejuvenation in that locker room, in that offensive meeting room. And once again, once the offense starts putting up points, starts converting, starts scoring more touchdowns, that'll leak over into the defense as well. They'll continue to play better.
Okay, so their next game is Sunday Night Football against Pittsburgh Steelers. There are reports coming out of Pittsburgh right now that Russell Wilson's getting first-team reps with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Nice. Could be Russ and Aaron on Sunday night, and we assume Davante will be dropped in a primetime matchup against the Steelers in Pittsburgh, I believe. Whew. Could you imagine? Is it in Pittsburgh or New York? Yeah. It's in Pittsburgh. Could you imagine Aaron and Davante leading that New York Jets team into Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on prime time? Brett Michaels is doing the whole oh mama, I've been feeling all my life from the long, long, and they're all boom, 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 boom. And And then Aaron and Davante are like, oh, yeah, that's what we came for.
Mm-hmm.
And then this just starts a run that is going to be talked about in documentaries and stories. And New York Jets fans are going to talk about the same way they do with Broadway Joe from way back in the day. Whenever he called his shots, Aaron, Davante, take over the city. And it all starts in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania at prime time. Oh, my God, that's not going to happen, is it?
Well, they should lose a draft pick if he plays on Sunday night because, that's just not fair.
What are you talking about?
You can't fake an injury for 3 weeks and then just come and play for your best friend.
Fake an injury?
That's
It was a 2-week injury. They said the whole time, brother.
Well, to complete this trade, Schefter said it this morning whenever he was in his closet live on First Take, and he was a bit flustered.
He was.
Yeah,
he
big
was.
time.
He was a bit flustered.
Damn shame.
He said Davante still has to pass physical. Because of that hamstring, they're not 100% sure whether or not he's going to be able to pass the physical, and hopefully he is able to. And, 2-3 weeks for a hammy, very normal.
Mm-hmm.
Very normal, depending upon how it all goes. The trade compensation is fascinating, Ty, because Mark Davis was allegedly saying, see how good his backpack is?
Yeah.
You think I'm going to give up anything other than a second rounder and also something for Davante? What do you think happened to get to the point where he's like, fuck it, I will take a third and hope for a second? And did we hear, and I know you were paying attention even though you were, paying attention to a newborn as well. There was a conversation happening that going all in like this for old buddy when he has no contract left, you'd have to do a long-term deal. So does this mean Davante's doing a one-year deal here with the Jets? They're giving up a third rounder, and Aaron Rodgers is on a one-year deal as well. How do you think that entire storyline ended up at this point, and what do you think happens after this year for Davante and Aaron?
I think Shefty mentioned this morning that it kind of seems like they're tied at the hip again. There was the whole thing when Davante left Green Bay. Part of it was he wanted to be paid, and part of it was he wanted people to kind of realize, hey, I'm a dude as well. I'm not a dude because Aaron Rodgers is my quarterback. All that is a big part of it, but he wanted to go prove himself without Rodgers, I think. But now I think, you kind of realize when you've looked at the quarterbacks he's had in Vegas, the grass isn't always greener. So he's getting back with Rodgers. I think they're tied together now. So it's probably one of those things where if they do rip off, 7 wins in their next 11 games or however many we're going into week 7. If they end up making the playoffs, I think there's a chance that both of them kind of restructure their deals and they stay in New York for maybe another year or two or something like that. But I think this is kind of like an all-in scenario. And in terms of the Mark Davis stuff, I always find that stuff hilarious because when was the last time a team came out and said, hey, this is non-negotiable, this is what we want for one of these guys? They never get that, ever.
Was Schefter on the show yesterday? Said that Mark Davis is the one that's been saying that this is what he wants and he won't accept anything less than that?
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder if there was another follow-up conversation between Telesco and him. And what does this mean for Max Crosby?
Hold on.
I'm not getting into it. I got a lot of Raiders fans mad at us for even broaching the subject with the Detroit Lions yesterday. Stop talking about Max Crosby's a Raider for life. We agree. We're just saying if you're the Detroit Lions, how much would you be willing to say he's a Raider for life until
they offer 3 first-round picks.
How much is he a Raider for life
that?
if you're the Detroit Lions? That's what we're saying, Raiders fans. We're not saying that Max wants this. We're not saying that this is going to happen. We're just saying, there's a chance that Detroit is this guy, Michigan guy, fits our culture, everything we need, and at a position that we just lost our heart and soul of our defense at, could certainly continue this year's run. And then his contract is up after this year, I think, with guarantees, Max Crosby. So you lock him in with a deal because they have cap space.
Yeah.
Then him and Hutch are your two. Then you think about MCDC's team and what Brad Holmes wants to build over there.
Yeah.
It's that's a perfect tandem almost if you're Detroit. Not saying that for the Raiders. I'm just saying for Detroit, that's like a perfect tandem.
Couldn't think of a more perfect fit for the Detroit Lions right now. Max Crosby, come home. We need you, pal. I don't care how many picks it takes. Let's get him to Detroit.
Could you imagine this is how Lions fans feel, too? It's we can win a Super Bowl this year. Let's go all in. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Should, yeah.
And Holmes has been a great drafter.
Yeah.
So that is probably a pretty – you look at their draft picks, it's pillar, home run, home run.
Mm-hmm.
So for them to give that up, you're giving up a potential future pillar. But is Max Crosby that? I think.
At his
Without
age,
a doubt.
too?
I think so. How old is he again?
27.
Yeah, we got time.
Get 10 years with this guy.
Hey, with Hutch, too.
Yeah, with Hutch.
That's the only holdup is you still got to pay Hutch, who you're going to have to pay him probably $40 million a year once he's up after next year? Most likely, so you'll have to pay
discount.
No, we
don't do that.
Anyways, the Max Crosby conversation is its own thing that will certainly happen after this because what does this sign from the Raiders trading Davante? Whenever him and AP, Coach AP talked last week. They were getting back on good graces. Schefter said there's a chance, actually, very fluid situation. He's back with the Raiders because of lack of interest now. Gone to the Jets. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who is in about 4 broadcast Hall of Fames. If there was any more, he'd be in them as well. Always wearing red bottom shoes because he is the one running the show. Ladies and gentlemen, legend, host of Get Up, Mike Greenberg.
Yeah, Greeny.
How are you, bub?
Okay. I am extraordinarily happy today, and I am happy for 2 reasons.
2.
One of which might not be as obvious to everyone as the second. So let me give the not so obvious one. I came on this show in August, and I made a wager. I wagered that Davante Adams would be a Jet by Halloween. If I lost, I was going to have to wear a Pat McAfee tank top on television.
Bingo.
Now, you all know who your biggest fan is. I happen to be married to her. She immediately said to me, under no circumstances are you wearing a tank top on television, because she knows what that would look like.
Okay.
So I got very, very nervous. But the good news is that with the trade being made today, rather than a tank top, this is what we are wearing, boys.
There you go, Greeny.
We are back.
Yeah.
The Jets are back.
Yep.
We are absolutely back in business.
Yep.
Just when I thought we were done, we are back in it. The Jets are going to go on. Listen to me right now, McAfee.
Okay.
The Jets are going to win 7 of their next 9 games.
Okay.
Rodgers is going to get hot as hell.
Whoa.
This is not going to make Garrett Wilson unhappy. It's going to unlock Garrett Wilson. This offense is suddenly going to look markedly better. That will bring a little fire to the defense. This is exactly what we needed, and we are back. And I got the jersey back to prove it.
Happy for you, Greeny.
Hell yeah, Greeny.
Happy for you, Greeny. We're about 12 hours removed from AFC East loss on primetime.
Yep.
And right now, the vibes around all New York Jets fans are that this is a massive piece being added to this team. You talk about unleashing or unlocking Garrett Wilson. It's like now Garrett Wilson also gets a chance to watch GOAT, one of the GOATs, operate on the day-to-day basis. And Hembo sent me over some stats. I assume you have them as well. It's like in the red zone, what Aaron and Davante have done in the past is like number 1 in the league. Right now, the Jets in the red zone, which is obviously the second most important part of an offense after third downs, they're like middle of the pack, 18th. I think is the lowest that Aaron's ever been. He helps with that. Man-to-man coverage, which you're probably going to see a bit with new Coach Downing's offensive strategy and scheme and everything like that. Him and Aaron, like number 1 in the NFL versus man coverage over the time that they were together. It's like all these stats are indicating that Davante will be a great addition to the team and make an actual impact. In the AFC East right now, the Bills are in the lead, obviously. Big win last night at 4-2. You're sitting at 2-4. It's like, hold the phone. You're still very much in it, Greeny. What would this story be like to tell if the Jets do flip this around and Davante and Aaron come into town and save the city? Legit.
I have no idea what this story would be. It would be the most ridiculous thing that has ever happened. Obviously, we are trying to do the impossible. We're trying to catch lightning in a bottle in the NFL. Again, I thought they had made the nuclear move last week by firing the coach. That didn't work just when I thought it was completely over. Now we're back in business. And I'll tell you something else. And I'm hot. Here's the other thing.
Steaming.
Today, I have 2 things. One, who do the Lions want for Hassan Reddick? We'll trade to Hassan Reddick right now. Who can they give us? Who can the Lions trade us for Hassan? You're talking about Max Crosby. That's going to cost you all kinds of number 1 picks. I don't think the Lions are going to do that. Hassan Reddick you can have for a song. Give me a linebacker. Give me an offensive lineman who can block somebody, and you can have Hassan Reddick in the next 15 minutes. So if that is the solution for the Detroit Lions, I'm all in on that. So that's one thing. The second thing here about this, I just forgot. Oh, you, McAfee.
Yep.
You.
Me.
Today is the first time that being a little older kind of screwed me, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Because you sent me a text a little after 9 o'clock this morning, about an hour before this story broke. You're like a little sneaky Patrick Schefter over there. You sent me the 2 little eye emojis. And because I'm of an age where I don't always understand what the language of the day is, I thought you were just telling me you were watching.
Okay.
And that, in retrospect, kind of screwed me. I had a chance to break this wide open. I could have broken this news on my show. I can show everybody the text if you want. Obviously, McAfee and my texts now are for everyone's consumption, which I'm all good with. McAfee sends me a text at whatever time it was, right after you posted that, just with the little eyes, and my thought was, well, I guess McAfee's watching us.
we were.
Yeah, and I just went back about my business.
If it means anything, I was watching it, and, that was kind of a discreet way of, looky. The tweet, though, I will say, once I put out the holy shit with the eyes, man, I started getting internet texts from other countries.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
There's people in Cozumel, Mexico right now celebrating their birthday going, what the hell is this all about? And I got people from, the entire football world going, what's this all about? And I would let everybody know, it feels pretty good to be able to just drop one of those and just have, that type of thing. Massive news, though, on this particular Tuesday.
You know what's tragic about that in its own way, McAfee? Is that everyone in the world understood what you were saying. And you were trying to give it to me, and I didn't. That is a really, really frustrating realization.
Yeah, but you're a good man, Greeny. You're a good man. You're a good man. You're just having fun. We were watching, too. So you were right, actually. There was multiple things to it. You were certainly right there. Let's talk about Coach Brick. What have you learned about him thus far? What did you see last night? And how do you feel? Is that a big deal for this run, 7 out of the next 9 that you think is going to happen?
I thought that the offense looked much better. I thought that it was obvious. I think the numbers, I don't have them in front of me. I think the Jets had 8 explosive plays in the game last night, which feels like 8 more than they had the entire season combined. It was obvious there was a different rhythm, a different tempo, a different flow, a little more, what looked like a little more creativity. And at the risk of using what has become a bad word around the Jets, a different cadence to the offense. And I don't mean that literally, but sort of figuratively. So I thought that was a positive sign. There were so many good things about last night, except that they lost. And the loss was devastating because, to your point, this feels like, well, going into last night, it felt like a 2-team race in the division. Coming out of last night, it almost felt like a 1-team race. But this unquestionably brings a shot of a boost of energy, a boost of adrenaline to everyone. It must, and I'm looking forward to hearing what Aaron says about it when he's on with you. Here's the other thing about it. Look, the Bills are going to be really good for 15 years, right? Because they have Josh Allen. In my opinion, he's the second best player in the NFL. They're going to be a contender for 15 years because he's so ridiculously good. But with the salary cap being what it is, all those teams that have these big quarterbacks are going to go through little dips, little moments in time when they have to reset their cap. And this is that time. This is the worst the Bills are going to be. This is the worst they've been in 5 years. And for the next 5 years, they're going to be better because they're a really well-run organization with a good coach and an outstanding quarterback. So this is the time to get them. This is the year where they're gettable. So Woody Johnson, for all of the issues I have with him,
Ambassador, please.
Ambassador Johnson he's doing the right thing. If you're going to go all in, go all in. If you're going to crash and burn, then you might as well crash and burn bigger than anyone ever has.
Okay, because I saw your tweet where you said this feels like a desperate move from a desperate team, but it's 100% the right thing to do or something along those lines. Desperation, I guess, isn't every team kind of desperate for a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
And wasn't the mindset kind of with Aaron Rodgers like, hey, we're going to go try to win a Super Bowl? So the fact that this trade happens after, I thought it was going to potentially come after the Vikings game because, he was throwing it to Garrett every single time. It's like the loss happens. Does this expedite the move? Then he fires Salah. It's like, does this expedite the move? In Woody's mindset, Ambassador.
Sure.
Mr. Ambassador's mindset, is it we're winning now? Seemingly is the case. So does that mean he's done? Is this the last move? Because if they're going to try to get Hassan out of there, there's probably another. What else are they going to do?
Something else.
Is Ambassador Woody still cooking over there? What do you think's happening? And who's pulling the strings?
Do we have any picks left? I don't even know. What do we have left to trade?
Hassan.
Get that back
Hassan.
and find out what we have left.
Hassan Reddick, I guess, is the tradable
Mike
piece.
Williams.
Well, yeah.
Throw him in there, too.
Yeah, Hassan and Mike.
You can have Mike Williams and Hassan Reddick. I don't know what in the world we would get. Literally, if you give me a guard who can block somebody and won't jump offside before the ball is snapped, I will take that.
Okay, to that point, Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Greeny, so obviously the Davante Adams trade, a lot of Jets fans are ecstatic about that, but they did kind of, quote-unquote, revamp the offensive line in the offseason, but Rodgers has been getting absolutely smacked the last several games. How big of a concern is that still going forward, especially when he's taking these big hits week after week?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say it's like a 17. I mean, the reality is
it's off the scale.
Aaron is everything. I mean, the Jets, and again, I say this, that it was the right thing to do. The Jets have proven over the last 15 years, 14 to be exact, that they didn't know how to do this. They didn't know how to get this over the finish line. They had good players. They needed someone who could get it over the finish line. I don't know if Aaron's going to be able to do it or not, but he's the best shot we've got. They have to keep him healthy. Every time he gets hit, it scares me to death. And I have to assume it does everybody. And he's getting hit all the time. Tyron Smith got beat so many times last night. Everyone is pointing to the holding that he had that wiped out a touchdown. And maybe that was a bad call. I don't know. It looked like a hold to me. But I know Aaron didn't like the call. And if he didn't like it, I didn't like it either. But he just felt to me like he was getting beat left and right. So the answer to your question is it is an enormous concern, because if Aaron gets hurt, then none of the rest of this matters at all.
Once again, I don't want to just keep saying like this is good news that Davante's coming. There's so many times in Green Bay, whatever the play call is, Aaron and Davante just look at each other, and I don't want to say that's going to help protection, but it could. There's some times where maybe 3 or 5 step drop's supposed to happen, but instead that thing is just straight out.
Yeah.
See you later.
And he's getting 12, 14.
Right off the jump, because Davante's untouchable seemingly whenever he has the ball in his hands. It's like, I genuinely, do all Jets fans feel, what's the pulse you think of Jets fans about Davante?
On the trade?
Yeah.
How could you not love it? I mean, what would there are two options. You're 2-4. The easy part of the schedule is now coming. When every fan of every team sits down at the beginning of the season, you look through the schedule and you say, this is the part we just have to survive. This is the part that we can win. If you look at the next few weeks, I mean, Steelers, it feels like a winnable game. Now, am I hearing Russell Wilson is going to play? I don't know what the hell.
But they both could possibly play. Mike Tomlin just said at a press conference that both quarterbacks could potentially start, and they will both get reps.
Wow.
That feels very winnable. Patriots is very winnable. Let's say Texans feels like a very tough game, but who knows? A Thursday night home game, there's an advantage. Cardinals feels winnable. Colts, all due respect, feels winnable. Seahawks, we'll see. Dolphins, Jaguars, Rams. I mean, look at these games they have coming up. So I think you either give up and you say, well, it didn't work, or you continue to go all in. So I don't know what Jet fan wouldn't think this was an outstanding move.
That's a Jet fan that's on vacation right now. Yeah. That's too good. Life's too good, maybe, for that particular Jet fan. But I do believe that particular Jet fan has a question about what D-Butt has a question about.
Yeah, Fireman Ed was in mid-season form pre-game, so he that Jets fan.
Well, hey, the ball blew off the tee. He had to do another one.
He was ready. I thought he was.
Yeah, but Joe Buck and Troy were saying, he wants everybody to be quiet. He's losing everybody, and I appreciate Joe and Troy. I think they are phenomenal. Shout out to Joe for the shout out last night too about the game day kick. I appreciate it. But the ball blew off the tee. Fireman Ed wasn't expecting that.
No,
that's a whole other spelling of the team name.
Yeah. Got to be ready.
And he was. He bounced his ass back up. I think. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Where are you?
Yeah. Are you with me? What is he? He doesn't do the.
No, he kind of just,
It's just more of a.
They know.
One man controlling a whole damn stadium. That's Fireman Ed football.
That's right.
And I thought he did great. Had to adjust a little bit. Had a little adversity. Ball fell off the tee. We got to extend this one more time. We got to make sure the timing's good. It's also the other team. We don't know how long of his run-up is. Fireman Ed, he showed up, and he's going to continue. Yeah. And that's what Fireman Ed's pumped about Davante being here. And if Aaron's going to be there, I'll be there. Isn't that what Fireman Ed said last week?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, we should call him at some point today. Go ahead, D-Butch.
Yeah, Greeny, so obviously we expect a little jolt to this offense, but the defensive side of the ball, are you concerned at all with the defensive side of the ball? I know DJ Reed went out as well with the groin injury. Josh Allen had a good night. Ray Davis had a good night. What's your concern level with that other side of the ball for the Jets?
It's much lower than my concern with the offensive line. They're not as good as I hoped they'd be. They're not as good as I sometimes think they are. They need to be better. Like, here's the thing. People will say, well, the Jets have only scored 9, 17, and 20 points in their last 3 games. Well, look, I mean, McAfee, you played, I didn't, but then it's the defense's job to hold the other team to 8, right? And that's just the way this stuff works. And the defense is good. There's no question it is a top, 10, 12 defense in the NFL, but it's not dominant. And going into the season, it felt like it could be dominant. They've had some injuries. I think that this is a defense that could be better than it has been and should play better than it has. They haven't played the greatest offenses. Look, Josh Allen's going to make a lot of people look bad. I think Allen is unbelievable. So he's going to make a lot of defenses. That throw he made from his own end zone last night, I don't know if you were on the Manning cast, like Peyton is literally screaming, throw it away, throw it away. Instead, he throws a 50-yard completion.
To the running back. Why is that guy all the way down there? He was unbelievable last night, Ray Davis.
There's 5 guys in history that could make this play that you're showing right now. That's a great job by your team, by the way.
Hell yeah,
and Ray Davis, that's the second straight running back I had never heard of who got a start in place of the starter and obliterated the Jets defense. It happened week 1 with Jordan Mason, and now it happens last night. So, I mean, yes, the Jets defense has to be better. The good news is I think it can be. The offensive line, I'm very concerned that maybe it can't be. The defense, I think, can be and hopefully will be.
Well, they can start helping, 77 chips and stuff and start game playing around it. But that's going to be a pride thing for him. Like, hey, you are getting cooked right now. He knows it, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
He knows it's happening as well. Doesn't want Aaron. And if the team is going to continue to invest and try to go all in, everybody's going to want to heighten their play. Last question here about the Jets from AP Tone. Yeah. Do you have an AP vote?
No, I do not. Meaning like a vote for MVP and things like that?
Yeah.
I do not.
Yeah, me
neither. I still have NBA votes. When I started hosting NBA Countdown a couple of years ago, I got votes for the NBA, so I vote for their awards. But I do not. I've never been a voter for the NFL.
Yeah, me neither. Here's a man that is AP Tone.
Wow. Yeah, Greeny, as you know, Aaron could be pretty divisive as far as NFL fans, and then so is New York and the Jets. And then NFL fan bases just love when they want a receiver and he goes to another place. Are you ready? Are you welcoming all NFL fan bases and they're going to root for your demise?
Yeah, who cares? I mean, like I've never.
Oh, sorry, Pittsburgh. Sorry, Baltimore.
No. Yeah, there's a lot of teams.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Colts, everybody.
Maybe this comes from doing what I do for a living, but like you root for your team and I'll root for mine. We're all good here, right? Like I get it. You're rooting for your team and I respect it. That's the reason that people have been nice enough to have done me the great privilege of listening to me on ESPN in the morning on one way or another for 25 years is because they're passionate about their team. So I'm passionate about mine. So, yeah, if you're Pittsburgh and you wanted them, you want to be mad and look, you're going to root against the Jets anyway. Why would anyone root for the Jets? They have set themselves up as sort of exactly the opposite of what the NFL has always been. The NFL has always been build through the draft, do things the traditional way. They've gone completely the opposite way. Aaron has turned some people off with the positions he takes on things. That's life. That's going to happen. So people are going to root against the Jets. Fine. It really makes no difference to me. I have waited my entire life to see this team play in the Super Bowl. If they do, and I'm the only person happy about it, that will be absolutely fine with me.
You've deserved. You've earned it. You deserve it, Greeny. We hope that happens. All right, let's pivot away from football real quick and talk about the city in which you were born and raised. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Greeny, 25 years, no flubs. That's why you're a legend. But looking around the city right now, obviously the Mets and the Yankees are in the playoffs running hot. How are the vibes when it comes to those two teams? And is the city mentally prepared for the possibility of a Subway Series in the World Series?
Absolutely. Here's one of the great things. Look, I'm a born and raised New Yorker all my life. And New York is such an international city. It is a world city. In fact, I watched that great piece they did on Monday Countdown yesterday with some of the athletes that have played here talking about how it is a world city. And it is, of course. This is a global city. When you walk down the streets of the city, half the languages, or half the people that that walk by you are speaking other languages because they're visiting from here, they're visiting from there. It's wonderful. And every once in a while, when one of our sports teams gets really good, you are reminded that we're also still just a town. We're just a really, really, really big town. And you cannot go anywhere right now. If I just walk out the door of my building right now, which I will do later today, half the people you see will be wearing Met hats and the other half will be wearing Yankee hats. And it's great. And it is just a reminder that for all the, fancy restaurants and Broadway and,
human poop
billionaires, that we're also, there's a little bit of Pittsburgh here, there's a little bit of Cleveland here.
Okay.
There's a little bit of just that same small town. We love our teams just like everybody else does, and it warms my heart to see it. So I hope at least one of them makes the World Series. If both of them do, obviously that would be great for this city. I don't know how it would play outside of the city, but that's my favorite part of it, is just to see all of the, now you know who the New Yorkers are when you're walking down the street, because there's basically two groups of people. There are the people who are visiting, and there are people who are wearing either a Yankee or a Met hat, and that it makes it feel like a town.
How come when you walk out your front door, you don't ever go do anything fun? Stacey always wants to do stuff, and you're always, no.
Go get some ice cream,
Yeah, just have a little ice cream, Greeny, there in New York.
Time.
Dude, I've gained so much weight.
Me too.
I gotta go easy with the ice cream, and you know, whatever. You know, she is your biggest fan, so she's so upset that she's up. I called her and I said, I'm going on McAfee at 12:10. She's like, I'm coming home as fast as I can. So she's all upset that she's not here to see
tell her we said hello and we appreciate it. We follow along with the trackings of Greeny.
Yep.
You 2 feet from the TV, whenever the Jets or something's happening, is great content. And then you just saying, no, we're not doing it. The ice cream always gets a good pop out of me and the wife at my house as well. Yeah, this
Well, so here's the funny thing, okay? So she takes that picture last night. I'm very close to the television. And all of the responses are, wow, look how big your TV is. And then if I go back 5 feet and I sit on the couch that is behind that, and she takes that picture, we get tweets of people saying, why is your TV so small? Like people, you could make yourself nuts paying attention to the
Well, and then why is your TV hanging? Like I'll post a photo of my TV. I'm watching something. It's not supposed to be above eye level. Who told you to put the TV? I thought you'd have a bigger TV. It's like, shut up, dude. I'm watching a fucking game. So now I'll just crop it all the way down. All the way down.
Always.
I don't want to hear it. But that was a big TV.
That's a big TV.
25 years this guy's been on that TV.
That's right.
Yeah, there's a reason. Hey, Greeny, we appreciate the hell out of you, man.
All right, but now we have to make our plans. Mike Foss has already texted me.
Okay.
The Thunderdome is coming to the Big Apple, baby.
Yeah.
We got lots of room. We'll make the date. We'll make the time. We'll make the place.
Okay.
Whenever you guys want, it works with me. I got all the seats that you need available.
All right.
You guys are coming to New York and doing the show, and I couldn't be more excited.
Okay, we're excited too. We're actually going to wear suits. We're going to do the whole thing. We're going to do the whole thing,
Rent
Greeny.
one.
We can't wait to get over there. Good dancing. Good dancing. That's
the best dancing of which I am capable.
Okay.
And thanks again for trying to let me break that story today. I am so upset with myself. You sent me the double eyes, and I thought, oh, I guess McAfee's watching. God, that was embarrassing.
You're the best. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm always watching you, Greeny. Mike Greenberg. He was excited.
Yeah, he's ecstatic.
He should be.
He's watching.
He was dancing as soon as the music started.
Yep.
As soon as the music started, he stopped dancing. You're not catching me missing a beat.
No.
You see, I can dance with no music because there's no beat to miss, you see. But as soon as you start that thing, I'm done here.
Smart.
I appreciate that move. That's a very good move. He's ecstatic.
I wonder, is that the overwhelming majority of how Jets fans feel right now? Because I feel like there's such a miserable bunch.
Yeah, there's
so
definitely
I feel like so I'm interested to see what the split is right now with Jets fans.
Not a bad play, though, by Ambassador Johnson.
Not at all.
Last week, we lose. Everybody's watching. Fire coach. Everybody's talking about Rodgers. You know. Lose Monday Night Football. Not a bad play.
No.
2 weeks in a row, the fan base is like, okay, we're still going for it. We're still going for it. You know, they do have a schedule that appears to be a lot easier than maybe the beginning of the season was for the New York Jets. And if they go on a run, they got to bye here in 3 weeks or whatever, 4 weeks. It's like if they get to the bye in a position where they're either, you know, 1 or near 500, because you're going to have to go on a little bit of a run here, through that bye week, the amount of like excitement and like, let's hone in on this, let's do this, because Downing is literally taking over mid-season. Brick is taking over mid-season. That bye week is going to be huge for how we reset things, how we want to go about doing things. We have a little bit of experience now in doing this. When do you want to do this? How do you want to do this? We should think about doing this. This has been working pretty good. Let's do that. It's like if they can get that bye week still in it, seemingly, then they can maybe make a run afterwards. We've seen it with veteran quarterbacks in the past. We've seen it with bye weeks in the past, especially with this much change happening. It's like, I think there is true reason for optimism over there in New York. And, Conman, you picked the New York Jets to go to the Super Bowl.
Hell yeah.
Do you feel that way this morning after the Davante Adams move?
Absolutely. I haven't felt better about my Lions-Jets pick since I made the pick today, but you look at those games too. Like, look at how the playoffs are right now. Steelers are the 5 seed, so that would be a potential tiebreaker. Colts are the 7 seed, another potential tiebreaker. And then, of course, you got the Titans of the league with the Patriots and the Texans coming up. Like, there are a couple massive games for the Jets in these next 5 weeks where if they are, I don't know what that was, 7-4 by the time they get to the bye, like, they're in prime position to make a run.
Congrats to the Jets. We'll talk to Aaron at 1:15 Eastern today. I guess there's some things happening at the building today. Back it up 5 minutes. Go ahead.
Things we always like to do. The sports books did not change their odds to win the Super Bowl. They changed them slightly to win the AFC by like 100. They went from like 1,500 to plus 1,500 plus 1,400. And then for the division, they went from like plus 650 to plus 625 or something like that.
Okay, so a little movement, not much. They want to see how it works too.
Mm-hmm. They do.
They want to see Davante and Aaron still speaking their own language out there on a football field.
Yeah.
I'm thinking they will.
They will.
Davante's going to want to prove.
Yeah.
Aaron's going to want to prove. Downing's going to want to prove.
Garrett's going to get better.
Brick's going to want to prove. Garrett's naturally going to get better because the coverages cannot even be, even though he's getting a rock a lot, coverages can't be shaded towards him now because Davante's there. That safety's going the other side of the field now.
Yeah.
Right?
You got to make a decision. 3rd down, red area, you got to make a decision. Who do we double? Who do we try to take out, making a big play?
So hopefully everything better. Hopefully.
Gotta protect him. Gotta protect him.
He took some big shots, blindside shots. Too.
Yeah, like it's been multiple weeks now.
Quick drops too.
Yeah.
Not like hanging, patting.
No.
It's like at tip or at top of drop and then bang.
Yeah.
And taking out. That's not. And he bounces back up, obviously.
They'll figure it out before Sunday.
I think Moses is coming back.
Tone, listen, I know Jets playing the Steelers this weekend. I know Russell Wilson and Justin Fields might be both playing.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Not great.
What do you mean?
Not great.
What are you talking about?
Read option pass.
Oh,
you can
to
hand
each
it
other?
off to
When's the last
Fields.
time a team with 2 quarterbacks had a great season? Pretty good.
I don't know, the Niners, like with Montana and Steve Young.
Pretty good.
Is that good? That worked.
How about Aaron and Jordan Love? Did they have a good run there one time?
They
Think so.
Yeah, they went to the NFC Championship. Jordan Love started the game against the Chiefs when Rodgers was out with COVID.
Boom. And against the Eagles, I think, whenever he got hurt, Jordan Love went out there and played.
That's right.
Was there a question about who the starter was? Or?
Well, not exactly. But
Some people.
That's semantics.
I
That's
mean,
semantics.
I thought you liked the song and dance where you just
Did-
we don't know who started.
Did I say that ever?
I don't know. You never came out and said, "Hey, Tomlin, just named Justin Fields."
I did it yesterday when I asked Shefty, "Are we ever going to find out who the starting quarterback this team is?"
Well, and Tomlin today said no.
Yeah.
with the media there, you got Russ taking 1 reps, Justin Fields taking 1 reps. It's complete opposite. Are you ever going to know? No. And the goal is that you never know.
No.
And he's hoping for Jets defense to not have a clue who's playing quarterback either, I would assume.
I'm sure they're nervous.
Who?
The Jets defense.
Oh, yeah.
They better be.
Shaking in their boots.
They just gave up 150 to Ray Davis. You don't think
They have been pretty.
is watching
They
that?
have been pretty underwhelming so far. So
Arthur Smith is seeing that, just going, okay, we got Naj turning the corner, diving 15 feet now.
He played
Obviously,
really well.
Warren coming in there. It's like Artie Smith sees what just happened last night with Ray Davis. He's probably pretty excited. Now, the quarterback position is certainly something that we'll keep an eye on over there in Pittsburgh. But with Justin Fields winning last week and, having a couple rush touchdowns and seemingly finding his rhythm and maybe drop touchdown here, maybe another one. He only threw for like 100 whatever yards. People didn't think this would be the week to change quarterback. Tomlin's going, not so fast. Maybe now's the perfect time.
Yeah.
Just because Justin Fields is feeling good about himself after a big win, you know who else is? The rest of the team. Okay, so let's go ahead and put Russ in there.
right.
How do you feel if Russ was to be the starter over Justin Fields? Tone Diggs, actually.
I thought Justin Fields has played better than expected so far this year. 10 touchdowns, 1 interception is pretty good for Justin in that situation, especially behind an offensive line that has just been decimated by injuries, and they don't have a wide receiver too. It's really just Pickens and then Freiermuth and then boys in the backfield. So I thought Justin's played really, really well. Was there some throws that he's missed? Sure, that's just part of his game, but he's also made a ton of plays with his feet, which behind that O-line I think is important. Russ has been sacked a ton of times in the last couple of years, so I'm interested to see how it goes. I'm in a pickle.
How do you feel about it, D-Bud?
I think Justin Fields should be the starter, especially with that banged up offensive line. When you can run around, when you can make something out of nothing, that's huge. Obviously, it always shows up in the red area as well with quarterbacks. With that broken down protection up front. Tone just mentioned they don't have great weapons outside, so it's not like you can just get back and have a sophisticated pass game down in, down out. So I think for Arthur Smith and the offense as it's currently constructed, Justin Fields is their best option.
Maybe there's a Russell Wilson package.
Ooh.
Maybe there's a Russell Wilson package that sees Justin Fields get the ball in space. Maybe it's a little bubble package. Maybe him, Nas, Jalen around Russ, and they're just running a little flyer. Everybody's just running in different directions.
Sweet.
And then the ball could go anywhere. You never know what Artie Smith's going to do.
Artie will cook it up.
Absolutely.
We'll be fine.
Especially on prime time. Going to want some gimmicks out there for sure. We'll keep an eye on that. Speaking of a story that was brewing pretty loudly in the city of brotherly love. Their head coach, early in the season, after getting a win over the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans, had a fan base saying, get this doofus out of here.
Yep.
They win again against Cleveland Browns this weekend, and all anybody's saying is, we hate this coach. This coach was actually seen talking shit back to the crowd at the end of the game. Now, there's a Reddit report that the fan that he was chatting to at the time, earlier in the game, was yelling to Nick, hey, run the damn ball! Run the ball, Nick! Even though Kellen Moore's the play caller, was boozed up. He's self-admitted in this particular Reddit post. And then at the end of the game, when Sirianni went over to him, he said, I told you I was going to run the ball. Because while he was yelling, run the ball, he turned and said, calm down, we will. And then whenever they did at the end, that's what Sirianni was going over saying. So it wasn't really like shit-talking per se, kinda though. Kinda. If this Reddit report is accurate and real, which was gaining a lot of traction on the internet and Philadelphia internet, I think, because a lot of people were saying, this makes this a lot different than what it originally was, as opposed to Sirianni just going to the entire crowd. Why? Suck it to all of Philadelphia. Allegedly, he was talking to one person or one group of people via this report that has not been substantiated, but it has been spread like wildfire.
Yeah, exactly.
So we have to make sure we say that. But Sirianni came out and apologized. He said, say he didn't like it. Here he is.
I was trying to bring energy yesterday, enthusiasm yesterday. And I'm sorry and disappointed on how my energy was directed at the end of the game. And, my energy should be all in on coaching, motivating, right, and celebrating with our guys. That's, and I got to have better wisdom and discernment of when to use that energy, and that wasn't the time. And so,
hey Nick, I'm wondering what made you kind of feel the way you do, what you just articulated. What made you change your mind? Because after the game, you said I was just having fun. What changed, sure. And were you aware of the way the fans reacted?
There's play calls in the game that you go through, and game management things that you go through, and say, at the time I thought this was the right thing, and then you evaluate everything. You evaluate the way the players played. You evaluate the things that you did as a coach to get them ready to play, or the calls that you made, or the management of the game that you did. And you do the same thing with other things, which this one is.
Now we're a couple days removed. I got to look back. They edited it and cut that off at a bad spot. Obviously, he had more to say. Coach Sirianni was sorry and disappointed. If that Reddit report is real, feels like he was talking to one particular thing about one particular situation. The optics, obviously, for some people, not good regardless of it all. Coach's head seems to be healing up from that sunburn that we saw yesterday on this particular program. Ty, what do you think about Coach coming out saying sorry, disappointed, then hitting some apparent talking points there?
Yeah, what I think he should have said was, the reason I changed my mind was because I got PP whacked by Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie, and they told me very, very straightforwardly, hey, stop fucking screaming at the fans who are paying money to come and watch the boys play, okay? So you get on whatever media cycle you need to do, and you fucking apologize and shut your mouth. And whatever bullshit, excuse you want to come up with.
Your energy should be towards the players and winning a game and celebrating, not towards the crowd.
That's basically what they told me word for word. So I just repeated it to the media, and these bozos bought it hook, line, and sinker. Even though everyone knows that these are not 2 days ago. That is what my thoughts and opinions still are. But you can't be yelling at your fans.
Hey, Coach Sirianni, we think you're an absolute dog.
He's the man.
He's better for football.
He's the man.
He's good for football.
Well, that's what that's what drives me nuts. Is we kind of talked about it a little bit yesterday. Is like when he's doing it when they win and he's talking shit to the fans and stuff like that. People love it because he's not the post game. Going up there giving the media nothing, saying nothing. But then when they lose or he does something like this, and I get it, you can't really do it to your own fans. Like this isn't Mickey Mouse junior high football. It's the NFL. But you can't pick and choose when he is
Sirianni is who he is at all times. So, like, if you're okay with it when he's doing it to Chiefs fans when they beat them in Kansas City, then you kind of just have to eat it when he does it at home because it wasn't malicious, you know?
Yeah, and we want guys to be themselves and everything like that. And then when they are, it's like, this is unbecoming.
Stop being yourself.
This is not what
you want guys to be able to be like, did you have fun tailgating? Was the weather nice? Okay,
You do want that.
That's a good point.
Did we win? No, but the weather was
Did
nice.
you have a good time? Did you have fun?
I don't like what this conversation has become. This is supposed to be a compliment to Coach Sirianni and how he operates. But you guys want to take this to West Virginia. I don't like that one bit.
What happened?
I think I was taken out of context, the answer that he
I
gave.
hope so.
There's no way that is actually his message to the fans. I think he was talking, this is Coach Neal. Nah, we're not running. This is taken out of context.
I missed it.
No, we're not doing
I
it.
didn't
We're not
see
going to continue to do what everybody on the internet's doing, seemingly, hopefully, taking it out of context.
Coach Neal knew what he was doing.
No, I think he was asked, hey, fans are wondering why the hell they should come to this Kansas State game in Morgantown 1 week removed from what just happened in Iowa State. And he said, well, to them, I
don't know. Did you have fun?
Wonder some goods? Wonder some good times?
Yeah,
tailgating was sweet,
Tailgate.
right?
You, atmosphere was fun. You had a good time in the parking lot, didn't you?
What do you dumb hicks got better to do?
Okay, that's not what he said.
I thought
that is not what he said.
I think that was at the end.
None of that.
It's verbatim.
What's Whitey saying about this situation?
There's a lot of people not happy about any of it. I'll tell you what.
Oh,
I've heard about hot seats. That one is on top of a couch that used to burn.
Sure.
There in Morgantown.
A lot of coal
with a
underneath.
lot of people. Now, I'm not saying that's how the university feels. I'm just saying from the humans that I talk to and interact with it from West Virginia, whether it's former players or alumni or donors or people that have been, that nobody is thrilled about everything. All these stats that are coming out about the current era, just none of them are like,
not great.
Oh, that's a top level program. So every time on game day I bring up West Virginia, and Desmond and Kirk are like, we're not doing this, are we? Why are we?
Still
saw top 25. I did see that in my algo.
Yeah, it's like Temple, Rutgers, Maryland, and I think Maryland was ranked with Tagovailoa at one point. The only 4 teams.
Vanderbilt,
yeah, the only 4 teams that haven't been.
Yeah, but
been ranked top 25 in the last 5 years or whatever.
West Virginia's only lost to undefeated teams.
That's this year. Yeah, they're very good, but that's the thing is, I think if you look at the rest of the situation around the football world in West Virginia, uniforms sick.
Awesome.
Those Cole Rush jerseys. I think they were the number 1 uniform in Uniswag.
Wow,
that's damn.
Okay, so uniforms sick. We got a good Nike deal up there through the thing. We got money with a collective. Is it anywhere near what everybody else is? I don't know. I genuinely don't know what everybody else is doing. I hear about Ohio and everything like that. Fans, those people, look what they did for our. We have a first-class fan base who fill up that fucking stadium, and they travel in from all parts of that state to go watch. So everything around the actual football on the field is the brand, the logo.
Tradition,
Everything is like, could be a team. And I think that's how a lot of West Virginia fans feel. It's like, hey, we got it all here. Legit. And no offense, West Virginia University degrees. It's not that difficult to get in either. So it's like there is no real reason. And we're in the Big 12, which seemingly good division or good conference to be in to get to the 12-team playoff.
Wide open.
And it's fun.
So whenever we lose all the games that are big ones, just repetitively, just one after another, it's like it's hard to keep the hope for the football because everything around it is awesome. Everything you need to sell a team and to sell a school, we have it, except for those massive wins. But that changes this week with Kansas State.
Hell yeah, brother.
It's going to be much more fun than last week, Neil. Okay? You win a game, it's a lot more fun, Neil. You got to remember that when you're talking to the media. We're back for hour 2 with Aaron Rodgers. Jesus Christ.
Last week, I have no idea what to expect. I will say, since Kirk Herbstreit is rolling around in a Bentley right now to a plane, Nick Saban will be the holder today for the field goal kicking contest. $80,000. Rob McElwainey's here, obviously, absolute dog, owner of Wrexham, obviously his soccer team, and also It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I think you have 10 other investments. This guy might be a billionaire. I have no idea, but he is awesome and entertaining. Kyle, you're a junior here, correct?
Yes, that's correct, Pat.
Have you ever talked any trash about kickers before?
Of course I have, Pat. Come on now.
This was his sign that he brought today. This guy. Is there anything you'd like to say to him before your first hold on TV?
Good luck, man. That's all I can tell you. I'm rooting for you.
Did you ever hold before?
Yeah, when I was in high school. That was a long time ago.
Okay, you're going to do great. Rob, former soccer player, maybe sign him to Wrexham after he makes this kick or no?
Look how confident he looks. I mean, I would be shaking. He seems very, very confident. I think he's going to make it.
Go! Go! 80,000, Kyle! All you got to do is put it through the uprights. Nick Saban, the greatest of all time, on the call. Oh, no. Oh, no. Spiral. Throw a completion down the left side.
Wow. I say give him another kick.
Rob, he immediately blamed the holder. Okay.
I don't know, but it looked like it was coming back. It wanted to come back. If it had a little bit more distance, it might have gone in.
Coach Saban, does he deserve another kick, you think, or what? Oh, no, Steve, back for
another kick.
I want to make Coach dive.
That's smart, yeah, make him make a play. Coach, you think he deserves another shot?
Let's give him another shot.
Okay.
Make it.
This one for $100,000, Kyle. Nick's looking out for me here, a little bit of coaching.
Where it's, yeah.
Rob, what was your
right
did you graduate?
I did not go to college, so I've adopted Oregon as my home.
If you were to go, would general social sciences be your thing? Hey, hold on, Kyle. Good luck.
Come on, Kyle.
$100,000 in Oregon. Oh, what about? Hey. All right. Kyle, I feel like you hustled me a little bit.
Yeah.
Your second kick was so much better than your first. Shout out to Nick for the hold.
How important is the holder?
Hold is the most important.
Great, man. Congratulations. That's great.
This thing is getting expensive, Reese.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. You pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, October 15th, 2024. Hour 2 of the program starts now. Football! It's awesome. There's so much shit to talk about all the time. The Talks Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Ty, good to see you, pal.
Hey, hell yeah. Good to be back, boys.
We miss you, Ty. Another Aaron Rodgers Tuesday for you. How pumped up are you?
I'm very pumped up. You know, just being able to see Aaron and Davante reunite again, it's going to bring me a lot of flashbacks, a lot of good memories. So I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Oh, a little trip down memory lane.
It is. Nostalgia. It is.
Oh, yeah, it is a little nostalgia niceness coming right down the pipe.
Absolutely. And I just, I was getting sick and tired of seeing Davante toil away, having to catch passes from Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell.
Gardner Minshew was a Pro Bowler.
He was a Pro Bowler, and he just got benched for a guy with a bad mustache from Purdue. So, I don't know what that says about Gardner Minshew, but I'm glad that Davante's got his guy back.
Yeah, Davante and Aaron, obviously, we assume are going to create. I mean, they broke a record right there together.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of respect for each other, immense amount of respect. Remember, there was a time where people said Davante hated Aaron.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. That was journalistic standards. I don't know if that ever gets corrected by anybody that was saying that at the time, as you're just throwing shit at the wall and hoping that it would stick. Nonetheless, I think this is a big-time move. Can't wait to get Aaron's thoughts here in about 5-10 minutes or so. Should be nice. One half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys AP Tone is here. Tone, how'd the public do against the Bills' win last night? Was that big for the books?
No. That was bad for the books. This was the greatest public weekend ever.
Wow.
They were.
Hey, the band.
That's big for us. Dude.
Yeah. So last week was 7-2, 60% of or more on the public bet situation, and then this week was, whether you look, depending on the book, was either like 8-0-1, 9-0, 8-1, something like that situation. So basically, the public went undefeated on 60% or more of the bets this weekend.
That's fantastic for us. We're going to continue to do that. 9-year NFL vet, host of Everything DB, Good D, Bad D, Darius J. Butler.
Yes, sir.
D-Butch, we're winning bets now. We got action.
Love
we got
that.
trades. The NFL is swinging a hot bat right now, D-Butch.
Hot bat right now. Loving the action. Obviously, we got a good game last night. Too much of the rest. We got a good game, and hopefully we get more bangers this week.
Yeah, amen. Too much refs, which we hope will kind of dial it back. Did you see the white cap before the game? Whenever it introduced himself to Aaron Rodgers, did you see that one over the top there?
The handshake, I heard about it, did not see it.
Actually took his cap off. You'll see this. He's spinning the ball. Aaron Rodgers does a lot of cool ball tricks. He spins on his middle finger, can spin it around. He can do the little handy doopy thing. Takes that. Sir, good to see you. How you doing there? Good to see you. Nathaniel Hackett catching up with some old friends in the background. But Aaron in the white cap here chit-chatting. He's saying, hey, listen, I'm going to call anytime they hit you. Roughing the passer. And Aaron's saying, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm going to have to talk about it afterwards. He certainly did. A lot of refs, though. I don't think they've been the storyline every single week, though. So we would like to extend an olive branch to the NFL officiating. You guys have been seemingly doing well, okay, this year. Congrats on that.
Yeah, keep it up.
We like that. Let's keep it going.
Good.
Let's not get too excited and trigger happy whenever prime time, because nobody's here to watch 204 yards worth of penalties and announcements on prime time. Speaking of games being seen by a lot of people, another international series game in London on NFL Network, which you can see on NFL Plus if you get the app and subscribe to that. You can also get NFL Plus Premium's NFL Pro, which has insights into everything. Jaguars taking on the daunted New England Patriots.
Hell yeah.
That'll be a 9:30 kick. I like the morning all the way through the night, having magic in matchups. And hopefully, this past England game was a little bit of a blowout.
Yes, it was.
Good news. The team that got blown out, they're up again.
That's right.
Hopefully.
That's right.
They're going to get blown out again.
Might.
They're pretty big favorites.
Am I wrong?
You think Drake May is going to go over to England in his second ever start and embarrass Trevor Lawrence and the London Jaguars at this point? I don't know.
If I'm Interpol, I got eyes on Drake May's uncle.
Oh, yeah?
He's going over there to wreak havoc.
Do we got any heads up? Did he make it to the game? Have we gotten any intel from the family on drunk Uncle May? And if he's made it?
We have not gotten any heads up yet. No intel, no information on the uncle. But I'm
worried about international drunk uncle. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and you should be, because guess what? The Texans defense, like the third best defense in the NFL, and you saw what Drake May did. The Jags defense is worse than the Colts defense. So think about that for a second, about what Drake May is about to do in London to Jacksonville. It's going to be a show, brother.
No reason at all to bring us into this, okay, at all. AR, obviously, will be playing this weekend, I do believe, for the Indianapolis Colts. That has been announced. Happy he's back. Let's go, AR.
Hell yeah.
Let's go on a run. He sees what's possible, the way Joey Flacco kind of handled the team on the field and also in the locker room. Excited for that. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup winner, former teammate of Davante and Aaron Rodgers. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
Yeah.
AJ, does this make you want to put the pads back on, seeing two Green Bay Packers pals reunite in New York, pal?
Yeah, I mean, I was a bit surprised. I know you kind of had the jump on everybody, didn't you? I saw you talking to Greeny, and he couldn't really interpret the text or tweet that you put out there. But
you gotta remember,
yeah, man, this is awesome.
All these FBOs, AJ, all these FBOs.
Logged in.
I don't know how many people are flying into these FBOs, shaking hands with the people that are on, the tarmacs, wearing the bright stuff with the sticks on it. There's a chance that we're just getting information from different cities quicker than
you got grounds crew people sending you text.
I got everybody.
Hey,
okay,
give up your sources.
I tip Will.
I got every. Bingo. I'll tell you what, it is a bit expensive to travel throughout that entire thing. Nobody even thinks about on top of it all. But yeah, sources everywhere. I have sources fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
And, I can't get it confirmed, though. That's kind of my thing. Now, I guess I could have texted or, called the person that's about to join us to see what insight he had, but then I'm putting him in a bad spot.
Sure.
So I didn't have it confirmed, but I did have some, well, why would that be happening? Good question. holy shit, is the send out there of the tweet. And boy, it really started.
What's going on? What's going on? What does that mean?
Whoa.
I started getting a text. What does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? I'm like, well, you tell me. You tell me. You tell me what you know. And then all of a sudden, I was living life like an insider real quick. I'm like, I was getting information. Is it this information? I'm like, did not know that. Okay. Is that actually happening? Yeah. Well, it could be. I'm like, yeah. Do you know that? Or what is it's an interesting world. We want to stay out of it. Rap Sheet inevitably got it confirmed first. Schefter followed up with what the trade incentives are. Is this a one-year deal thing you're thinking? Is this just 1 year, these two guys getting back together? What are your thoughts on it, AJ?
I don't know. I would imagine if Davante is coming over, he wants to be there more than 1 year, doesn't he? If Aaron's there. So I don't know. Do they have to do anything? Do they have to figure out a contract? What needs to happen?
They do not have to figure out a contract at all. And that would be only depending upon this guy's decision of them having to figure out a contract or not. If he just wants to finish out this season with no more guaranteed money going forward and then just saying, hey, if we just figure this out after this year, whether I'm going to be gone or if we're going to re-up, cool. If they have that type of understanding or agreement, I think that would make sense for them to want to go all in this year and try to make a run for a ring. That would legitimately be ring chasing to a T for Davante and for the New York Jets.
I can't remember who it was on here, but the Jets side definitely has to figure it out because they're not going to pay Davante $36 million next year because that's what he's due. If they don't rework the contract, and if they keep him and do nothing with it, they're paying him $36 million.
Yeah, and that's up until the season, though, right? Because they're all game checks, I think, because it's non-guaranteed. So they got a lot of time.
Yes.
To figure that shit out. I think Davante would want to figure that shit out, much earlier in the offseason.
Yeah.
So that he knows where he's headed. So whether it's after this season getting figured out or, right now getting figured, because they can't find themselves in another Hassan Reddick situation.
No.
You got Davante Adams on a contract year, essentially, still in his prime, back with his old quarterback. I'd like that if I was a Jets fan.
AJ, Greeny came in here bopping. You saw him?
Yeah. After a loss, I see him just absolutely juiced. I know that for sure. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's the best news you get after kind of a bit of a heartbreaking loss last night.
Okay, so do you think that the ambassador, very diplomatic man,
Johnson,
Ambassador Johnson, the owner of the New York Football Jets,
and
also Johnson & Johnson, and I assume some other businesses that we don't know about?
Sure.
Of course.
I assume there's plenty of those.
Of which there are many.
God, could you imagine if he's just got a little cafe that he owns that he likes to go to?
Oh,
that'd be cool.
Over in Hoboken.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
J&J Cafe.
Love this espresso.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to go. I don't want anybody to know I own this place. Only 4 people are allowed in here. Me, and me.
That's right.
Anyways, he fired Saleh last week after a big-time loss. Then now we got the Davante Adams trade after a big-time loss. It's not bad in PR either. The ambassador kind of working this because Greeny should not be that excited. You saw the text that he sent me before that game last night. This is either the beginning of something or the end of everything, pretty much. This is it. That's what tonight hinges upon. Then he wakes up this morning, does his show on this premise, and then he gets the news that Davante's coming. He's like, wait a second. We potentially have the beginning of something new all of a sudden happening. And that's real, I think. Especially after the stats that Hembo sent over. What Aaron and Davante have done in the red zone, absurd. What Aaron and Davante have done on man-to-man coverage, absurd. What Aaron and Davante have done on third downs, absurd. Everything that makes an offense maybe click and go more in very crucial points, Aaron and Davante have figured out basically throughout their career together. So is this Jets team on the road to a Lombardi? Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, the quarterback for the New York Jets, 4-time NFL MVP, Super Bowl champion, and a man who will obviously be a first ballot Hall of Famer, Aaron Rodgers. Holy shit. That's a good shot. Is that 8K? Holy.
Yeah. What is that?
Wow. Is it clear today? Is it not clear?
Crystal clear. And it even got a little portrait effect behind you. Mm-hmm. Wow, you look good. Hey, good day over. Lost to the Bills, obviously. AFC East rival, Buffalo Bills, prime time. We heard you talk about it. We will certainly dive into that game a little bit more throughout this conversation. But Davante Adams is a New York Jet. So from your standpoint, when did you find out about it? And how pumped are you to be back on the same team as Davante Adams?
Yeah, obviously I'm really excited. Love Tay. He's a phenomenal player and a dear friend. It was a crappy day. Yesterday, obviously, we had real good chance to get to 3-3 and win a home game. Kind of gave that one away. I was pissed driving home through traffic. Had a couple messages. I was just not in the mood to talk to anybody. Got home, and Tay had called me and texted me, and so I finally called him back. And so about, I don't know, 12:30, 12:45 last night, I heard the news.
Okay, so as soon as you hear the news, what's that? Well!
Here he is.
Hey, good to see you, Tay. Good to see you, man. Congrats.
What's up, fellas? Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. How was the flight over there? Did you fly over last night? And Aaron wasn't returning any of your text messages? What's that all about? You think about saying, get me the hell out of here anytime that?
Yeah, he was having second thoughts. He's been known to have both when it comes to pulling the trigger with me. But hopefully we can put that behind us now. And we're back, man. We're back.
Okay, so obviously whenever the conversation about you getting traded is becoming the focal point of NFL conversations, Tay, a lot of people immediately placed you with the Jets because of your relationship with Aaron and the offense and understanding it. For you, first of all, how's the hamstring? And then second of all, is there any newness to the offense that they're running right now, or are you going to be able to kind of pick up pretty seamlessly with Aaron?
Well, first off, thank you for asking about the injury, and I'm feeling great, man. Feeling great. Getting, I was working with the staff over in Vegas the whole time, and they got me back right. So, fortunately, I'll be able to roll. And I'm sure there's a few new, little nuances, but for the most part, a lot of the same verbiage. Still the same OG right here, so should be able to pick up where we left off. That's the idea.
Are you living in his house? I heard it's big. Yeah, I didn't TMZ. I didn't see the TMZ of it, but I heard he's got a mansion over there. You thinking about taking over a wing?
Yeah, I'm buying the C wing.
Okay, smart. That is a very smart idea.
Taco Bell?
You bringing in a Taco Bell? It's a good question, D-Bud.
Need to know that.
No, we don't travel. I got two in my Vegas crib, so we'll just keep those over there and start a new deal here.
Love the commercials.
Thank you.
Hey, Tay, congrats, man. We appreciate the hell out of you, dude.
Thank you, brother.
Enjoy it, man. Hey, thank you for that. I'm happy to see you two just pick right back up, Aaron. That's awesome. That was a cool thing.
That was a nice little wide, and we got AJ out of that shot. That was awesome.
Yeah, we're trying to figure it out. Obviously, this show's super planned, so everybody knows that's going to happen. That was a nice little treat right there. Talk to you. Old buddies, obviously old friends. You talked at the golf thing during the American Century Championship, and there was a quote of you saying, we're playing again. You were talking about golf, obviously. But you two have remained very tight, right? Through the entirety of him going to Vegas, you coming here to New York. So this is literally a great day for friendship-wise and family-wise as well for you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Tay is one of my closest friends in the league. I mean, I've been fortunate in 20 years to meet a lot of lifetime friends and guys I played with that I still keep in touch with. And Tay's right at the top of the list of guys that I really care about that are family to me. And so to be able to have him back is really special. Obviously, it's bittersweet because of what happened last night, but, it's exciting. Tay and I have done a lot of great things over the years. He's made me look good a lot of times. So I'm really excited about it. I think it's exciting for our team. We definitely got better today. Big thanks to Joe making it happen, Woody, Chris pulling the trigger. That's obviously everybody was pissed about last night, but we know there's a lot of season left, and now it's go time.
Go ahead, AJ.
How did everything work last night with Coach Brick obviously taking over his first time as the interim head coach? It looked like there was a bunch of I don't know, Pat, I know if you watch a bunch of camaraderie on the sidelines, coaches jacked with other coaches, chest bumping, high-fiving all over the place. What was the vibe like, and what's it going to be going forward?
Well, it was obviously a strange week with everything that happened and the timing and early in the season, but I will say I thought the coach handled it really, really well. Team meetings, practice, words here and there, pregame stuff, halftime stuff. I thought he did a phenomenal job of keeping guys focused and bringing his own little flavor to it. So we love Brick. He's a fantastic guy, and we'll stand behind him. And man, people are calling me right now. I'm in a different office, but
it's okay. A lot of people happy for you.
They're calling Eric here, but
shout out Eric.
But no, I give Brick a lot a lot of credit for how he handled everything. A tough situation. Obviously, we all love Robert. Robert, stood by him, brought him in. So, it's not the ideal situation to step into, but I thought he handled it really well.
Yeah, I wonder how Coach Saleh feels this morning now that you got a Mount Rushmore wide receiver in that room, in that building after, a week afterwards. Excited for that. Hey, Hembo sent me over some stats. Okay, and I know last night there was a lot of things that went wrong. We'll certainly talk about it at the end of the game and everything, yada, yada, yada. Here's some stats with you and Davante Adams. From 2017 to 2021, you guys were the number one duo in the NFL with 52 touchdowns. In second place was Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill at 41, and then Kirk Cousins, Adam Thielen at 39. Right now, against man-to-man coverage, this is the worst season you've had against man-to-man coverage, stats-wise. Across his last two seasons in Green Bay, Davante Adams led the NFL with 141 receptions and 1,800 yards versus man coverage. And then there's some red zone stats about what you and Davante have done in the red zone and how many touchdowns he's had. And number one in the league, you two together in the red zone, versus this year, you guys are middle of the pack at red zone, I think, at 18. Is it as easy as adding Davante Adams to your offense to make that thing take it to another level, hit another gear? Or is that kind of a dumb way to view this acquisition?
It's a dumb way to view the acquisition.
Come on. Well, you just drop them in there. We got red zone touchdowns.
You only gave me two options.
Okay.
You only gave me two
Well,
options.
I understand you got to do what you got to do. I left you no other choice. But is it as easy as dropping it? Like, Greeny was dancing in here. Greeny came on the show, was dancing. I think a lot of Jets fans were like, here we go. This is literally the piece that kind of puts us over the top both offensively, and that's going to reignite the defense and everything. Is it as easy as that, or is there still a lot of work to potentially get Davante up to the speed for the New York Jets offense?
Well, listen, he infuses a lot of energy into the team right away. He's a proven star player. He's an asset. He's an incredible locker room presence. I think it's really going to help Garrett out. I think when you're able to be around a guy who's done it at a high level for a long time and see how he goes about his process, there's through osmosis going to be a lot of things he'll be able to pick up. And I think Garrett the last 2 weeks has played really good. I think it was his best game last night. Look at the stats. We had two 100-yard receivers. We had a 100-yard back. We played, better on offense in certain spots. We just were terrible in the red zone and missed some easy opportunities. Had a couple touchdown opportunities. Obviously, we missed a couple kicks, but that should have been a 30-plus point game for us on offense. And we're sitting here at 3-3 and feeling even better about ourselves than we are right now with bringing Davante to the mix. But I thought Allen and Garrett had phenomenal games, and obviously Brees did a ton in the pass game and the run game. And for the most part up front, we did a really nice job. This just, now with so many teams, especially the first 4 or 5 weeks, Garrett was facing doubles on normal down distance so often. Now you're going to have to choose if you have, star coverage you want to run, who's that guy going to go with? And then what are they going to do on the other side? And are they going to just cloud both sides? And they got a light box. Now we proved last night, we can run the football a little more effectively than we had the first 5 weeks. So it's definitely adding a lot to our team. But I think energetically, with the change that we had, that was kind of can be disjointing for energetics in the team, for guys wondering what does this mean. Then the way Brick handled everything, was just class and good leadership. And now this move lets everybody know, hey, it's on us now, because we're going all in, and it's our time to go out there and win games, get on a run, which we all feel deep down is going to happen.
Yeah, and if we look at your schedule going forward, it seems like, okay, here we go. We got a time. Every team is an NFL team, so obviously there's no easy win. But at the beginning of the season, felt like it was quite a lineup. Now, can he go on a run? Colts on Sunday Night Football. I mean, brother, you know what's coming to town. And then, obviously, every game's its own thing. But if you guys go on a run, this will be absolutely historic. You talk about the energeticness of the team and how Coach Brick has kind of handled everything. You apparently spoke your frustrations about Mike Williams last night, and obviously the internet and the reaction to that is different. It's like, okay, let's learn a little bit about football. That was probably what's about to happen, but also, why'd Aaron say that about one of his wide receivers? Whenever you do say something like that in a press conference, why? And also, how do you think, you go forward with Mike from this point?
I think if you watch my press conferences, I started with myself when I've made mistakes. I got to play better. I can't make that throw. I can't make that decision. That's the standard for everybody. So there were a lot of mistakes throughout the night. But if you're looking at just that play, that's what the question was. What happened on that play? Well, it was 2 verticals to the right side, and Mike needed to get width to the red line, which would have been a big gain. So I wasn't calling Mike out for anything other than his responsibility and the details in that play. I have a lot of love and respect for Mike. He did some nice things for us. On that play, he wasn't in the right spot. You can make more of that if you want to, but we all should be held to a standard. I hold myself to a standard of greatness, and when it hasn't been there, which it hasn't been at certain times, I've stood up there and said, I got to play better. I wasn't very good tonight. And I think hopefully that's an example for everybody else to start with themselves. But that question was about what happened on the last play. I said what happened on the last play.
No, you got to give a canned answer, though. We need a canned answer. Don't give actual answers. We want actual answers. And then when we get them, we don't want them. Okay? It's a never-ending cycle. If you didn't do it right, you can't say the right things. But I assume with the ownership that you have taken, which some people say, I don't want to hear it. Remember? That was last week.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to listen to him talk. I want to hear him take accountability. Well, if you listen to him talk, he takes accountability. Seemingly, you're never going to get right in some people's eyes, but that's neither here nor there. You're an old school guy. We appreciate the shit out of that, you hippie. Speaking of old school guy, Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Aaron, first and foremost, I was saying earlier, I'm ecstatic to see you and Davante play again. You're going to bring a lot of nostalgia and a lot of good memories back to me. But the last couple weeks, you've taken some big hits back there. How does your body feel overall? Is there anything with like your ankle that or anything like that? Is there any concerns there? Because we've seen obviously you grimace a couple times, but you've taken a couple big shots the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's kind of part of it at this point. You're not going to be 100% till the off season, but it's a process to get back to feeling decent by Sunday. Robert and Brick both been good about my practice schedule. If I need to be limited in any way, that's great early in the week. But I love the practice, so the last couple weeks I've been more limited on Wednesday, and then full participant I believe the rest of the week. So I'm sure that's going to continue. Having a Monday night game tomorrow is going to be a little bit lighter, probably of a practice or a walkthrough. So I'll be able to take all those. But a few big shots here and there. I think it's kind of part of it. I don't run quite as well as I used to, and some of those shots hurt a little bit more at 40 than it did at 25. But I'm gonna strap it up every week and get out there.
How's the knee and ankle?
Yeah, they made it through pretty good. There was a scary situation in London getting rolled up on like that. But thanks to Dave and his staff here and our training staff for getting me ready. And I felt like I held up pretty good. I was a little banged up from time to time, but I felt pretty good.
Okay, that's good news. Got to buy in a few weeks.
Not that few. It's a ways off still.
A full few.
Yeah.
It's a full
handful.
Yeah, it is.
It's a handful.
Yeah, I think a few is like 2 to 3 usually. Maybe 3 to 4. What, a couple is 2 to 3?
Yeah, I think a couple, and then a handful is like 5.
6 weeks out. Yeah, we're 6. Yeah, 6 till the bye. So.
You got a wall.
Yeah, ways to go.
Yeah, but in the grand scheme,
in the grand scheme, BC. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah, of life in general.
Just time as a whole.
Yeah,
that's not that long.
Because we're in year 2024.
Exactly.
So over 2000.
Are we though?
It's time.
Oh no! Oh no!
It's also a flat
you're
circle.
40 of you.
And are we in third? What dimension? Yeah. I mean, there's a whole nother.
Yeah.
Where are they all coming from too? I don't know.
What about the Mayan calendar? Come on, what are we doing?
That's a good question.
What
about it?
That was reset.
Well, what about not getting into it? Why are these dogs turning into humans on the?
Yeah. What is that, Aaron? What's going on, Aaron?
It's a good question.
I didn't post it, but I'm just telling you, somebody that TMZ wouldn't want to.
No.
Sent to Earth to help.
Yeah, what's the deal? What's
so
the
we've been told.
Yeah, we'll see. It's a wild time, Aaron. Davante's a New York Jet. Now, let's get.
Great time to be alive. Great time to be alive.
Not everyone's saying that.
It is great.
What?
Why
not?
Just not everyone's saying that.
It is. It's a great day to be alive. Especially if you're a Jet fan. Now let's talk about the offense a little bit. D-Bud has a question for you.
Some big changes with the Jets offense. Hackett now up in the booth, Todd down and calling things. You mentioned it earlier, like you guys look better. Breece Hall, he was making explosive plays all night. Allen and Garrett. Was there anything specific that changed throughout the week, preparation-wise, practice-wise, and if so, what was it?
Well, I think that when you make a big change like this at the top, the spotlight gets put on the players, and I think the messaging this last week was that we got to go out and play better, and the attention to detail needs to be there. Now, it wasn't there completely because obviously we had, multiple plays where, one guy, sometimes me, sometimes somebody else, just didn't do their job completely and took some points off the board for sure from us. But I felt like the energy was a little bit better, focus a little bit better, and we did a couple different things, but it was more. We wanted to be aggressive in the action game. Felt like we had some good plays in the play action game. We got the ball in space to Brees, and he's dangerous in space. We got Garrett involved early. We hit him on a crosser for 24 to start the first drive off. That was important. We hit him on a keeper action to the left where he was running the low cross, which was another big gainer. So I liked the way we were doing. I thought Todd did a nice job of rolling the calls off the play sheet, and then we just made here's the early one to G. Catch and run, get him in space there, make a guy miss. I mean, he's crazy legs like that. Like, just to be able to run that fast and move like that, that's like for slow white guys, that's like that's a dream.
Especially
right
40-year-old slow white guys.
Never be able to experience. How do you run full speed and make a side cut and just totally?
Are your knees okay? Is everything okay? Your knees?
Yeah, let's see this again. I mean, how do you do this when you're running full speed? Oh, I'm going to stop on a dime and get, I don't know, 12 yards after that. And then it's just like, oh, yeah, that's what I do.
Well, and a touchdown to him was bananas by both of you. This is filthy throw, insane catch, obviously. You two obviously are a great tandem. He's going to be opened up more now, right? You would think with Davante. We just talked about that a few times.
Oh, yeah. So I think that's definitely possible. What's wild to me is I didn't have the perfect view here, but I'm looking right down at it. I don't know how this isn't called a touchdown in real time. Like, what?
Yeah, the refs couldn't see much last night.
Yeah, we were all wondering.
We saw
He's guessing.
You're all wondering.
I don't know. It didn't even look like a question to me.
The white pants with the white line.
Yeah, sweet uniforms.
He did jump a little bit for no reason.
Yeah, I heard a commentary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hell, you don't care.
Again, for him, that's just like a normal play. Like, just in the back of the end zone, getting my feet down, getting a knee down. So, but I was proud of Garrett. I thought like his energy was really good all week, and he made all the plays that that he needed to make in the game.
Let's talk about Downing. That voice in your ear. I saw him yell, I think, after the first drive or first touchdown on the sideline. What was it like for the first time hearing him through the helmet? And what is your guys' interaction now that he is the one calling the plays?
Well, Todd's my quarterback coach first, so I've known Todd for the last couple of years. I have a ton of love and respect for him. He's a phenomenal coach. Just from a drill work standpoint of practice, I was really impressed last year with the stuff that he was working on that translates over to the game. It's so important. Sometimes those are throwaway reps, that people maybe don't care about as much, just kind of going through the motions. But it's never really the case in our quarterback drills. We're always working on something. Sometimes it has to do with the play from the previous week. Sometimes it's an expectation, or sometimes just a little tweak in the fundamentals that he wants to work on. So I love working with Todd. He's a great man. Great father, great husband, and he was great. Great in my ear. It was clear calls. I told him at the start. I said, just roll it off the call sheet. I'll make it work out there. I thought he did a good job of trusting. I mean, even on the last drive that we had, we called a run with the fly motion, and just unfortunately missed the block at the point of attack. But that would have been a 40-yard gain possibly. So I love the aggressiveness that we had, and I thought he dialed up a nice game.
Speaking of that, I have a Hembo stat about you guys in motion. Last night, I guess you guys ran, entering week 6, New York used motion on just 43% of their plays, the 5th lowest rate in the league. On Monday Night Football, the Jets ran motion on 40 of their 59 plays, including on 6 of their 8 plays that won at least 20 yards. Feels like that is a Downing a little bit of his sauce, or just the offense's sauce. That's a Hembo stat that just came through there.
I mean, there's motion in the plan. I mean, that's our offense. That's what we did all training camp. So whether we harken back to some of that stuff or we just had an extra emphasis on it, it definitely worked for us last night.
Go ahead, AJ.
What's the secret to throwing a successful Hail Mary? Obviously, you've been very successful in your career doing it, but another one last night at the end of the half. Like, I guess, yeah. Take us through this. Like, how does this continue to work for you?
Well, I mean, this is one of the lower ones I've thrown for sure. With the wind, the way that it was going, if you got the ball way up in the air, that ball's really tailing from right to left. So actually, I threw it exactly where I wanted to, but it was supposed to be between the hashes, and the ball didn't really curve a whole lot. Allen made a phenomenal play. My view was him kind of getting boxed out from the start and maybe pushed a little bit, and then he, moved himself over. But they rushed two guys. They called timeout right before the play. We actually had something else called, and I said, let's just call the Hail Mary here, not try and get a few more yards and get out of bounds. So they went with a two-man rush. Obviously we picked that up. They kind of added a guy late, but I was just trying to find a place to throw from. And then we're at the 50. That's not a difficult throw yardage wise. I think I'm throwing it from like the
42. Yeah, it's like 64 yards. You throw it in the air with no crow hop or anything at the age of 40.
Well, no, I mean there was a little. I had a little crow hop. I would say, but the higher you get it, the more difficult it is for the judging of where it's coming down. That's kind of what I've always felt. Like I said, this is one of the lower ones, the one to Janice and Richard and Cobby. Those were much higher throws, I would feel like. But you just find a spot to throw it from, and then giving your guys a chance, and you never know what can happen down there. But
how far can you throw a ball right now? If you're at the age, that's 64 right there. And you said I did have a little crow hop. Yeah, I guess you clearly stepped forward at one point. But how far could you? That's bananas to think as a 40-year-old. You need to know that.
Listen, there's just certain guys you're going to be able to throw the rest of your life. I got to see Brett. Brett could still throw it today, and guys in the league now. I mean, I feel like Joe Flacco, is one of those guys that's going to be able to throw it forever. And Matty Stafford, he's got a phenomenal arm. He'll be able to throw it when he's 70 years old. No problem. I feel the same way. I think that's something you kind of always have. But I feel like I can get it 70 out there if I need to. The arm has never really been an issue.
We saw a couple Hail Marys laying 10 yards short of the end zone this year.
Oh, yeah.
We've already seen it. It's a fascinating time. Congrats on another one of those. Obviously better in a winning effort, but certainly electrifying going into the half. Conman has a question about something happened pregame.
Yeah, Aaron, we showed a clip in the last hour of you shaking the hand of the Whitecap last night, and there were some theories on the internet, but my main question was how often... Sir? Yeah, very respectful, very solid handshake, almost like a little bro hug halfway through. Does this happen most games for you, just kind of the refs and other guys coming over, paying their respects? And is this where he told you, like, hey, I'm going to get you a few today? If there's someone that lands on you, kind of, I'm going to give you 15. And how good did you feel about the sarcastic ball poll in the post-game presser? Because that was great.
Listen, I've been a fan of South Park for a long, long time. I was fortunate enough to go to the studios one time years ago and meet Trey. I've said this, I don't know if I've said this publicly before, maybe once, but with zero sarcasm, Team America World Police got me through a dark time in my life. In 2013, I broke my collarbone. I was in a dark place. I was pissed. I'd never had like a major injury like that where I got to miss time. And I watched that movie every week the first week that I was out. And it just got me through the day, like just watching how ridiculous some of those scenes are, especially the deleted sex scene where there's some other stuff that happens. It's so incredible. But being a fan of the show, I mean, it's been a lot of great seasons. And one of the most amazing episodes, because they do some football stuff from time to time with the Broncos, was Randy Marsh and Sarcastiball, where they're just walking around with a balloon, hugging each other. And I've made a joke about how the league in some ways is getting rid of some of the violence. And some of it's good, some of the defensive player stuff is good. But as a throwback player, that's not a call that I want on Epinesa there. Like it wasn't an egregious sack. It wasn't like major contact. And I know I was a part of rule changes. There was kind of like the Brady rule when the guy went low on him and tore his ACL, and now the low hits. When Anthony Barr drove me in the ground in Minnesota, this rule kind of came into effect about body weight. I've been upset many times, and even last night, about non-pass interference calls. Never really been one to make a ton of excuses or call for flags for roughing the passer. Now, if there's an egregious one, guys, in the helmet, and I look over and they don't do it, I might say, hey, what'd you see there? But I don't think that one or the one on Kinlaw met the standards for roughing the passer. I respect and appreciate Adrian and the other white caps and umpires around the league trying to protect the quarterbacks. But when we go too far with any of these rules, then we're going into the realm of sarcastic-ball. Randy Marsh might be proud, but that's not really the way that I want to see it.
We ran it back.
I don't think fans want to see it.
No, nobody wants to see it. Last night there was too many flags. They put up a stat about how many penalty yards there were versus like the other. Brees Hall, I think, was in there like 150. Penalties at 204. It's like nobody's here. 169. Nobody's here for that. Ray Davis had a hell of a day.
Yeah, whoa.
Hell of a night for Ray Davis out of Kentucky. Obviously, congrats to him. 152. But nobody wants to see that. We ran your take back afterwards because a lot of people on the internet saying you're going to get fined for this for obviously criticizing the officials. Whatever sarcastic ball comes out of your mouth, you could tell like in the back of your mind.
Hit it.
That was fucking,
Gotcha.
that was good. We're proud of you.
Well, thank you. I didn't really answer the question, but there's always interaction with the refs, and some of them are more friendly than others. Some of them like you. Some of them maybe don't. I don't feel like that really happens with me. I feel like I have a pretty good relationship with all the guys, but I've known Adrian for a long time when he wasn't a white cap, and so it's a respect thing. It's a lot of the same stuff. But I like, there's always a little small talk about this or that, and so we had a nice laugh. But yeah, those guys are there to protect us, and again, they're out there doing a job just like we're doing a job, and we get criticized like they get criticized. And if I felt like there was a couple, questionable calls, and I said it, that's the way it is. Like, are they gonna find me for that? Okay, fine, that's part of it. But they're held to their standards. They're held to their standard as well. And as much as, we're frustrated by some of the calls, I just think if you watch playoff football, there's not a lot of calls usually. And whether that's the crews that are making it to the playoffs are calling less flags, or an emphasis on not throwing as many flags and letting the players just play. But I felt like, that there were definitely a few that were, maybe questionable. I felt like the one on the goal line, when we ran the touchdown in was, I had a view of it because I handed the ball off, faked it, and turned around. And it didn't affect the play, number one, at all. Number two, felt like they were just both going to the ground. That took 7 off the board. Not only 7, but we don't convert the third down there. Then we miss a field goal, so we don't get 3 out of it. That was a game-changing play on the 2-yard line. You don't see a lot of holdings inside the 5 in general, I would say, unless it's egregious. I just didn't feel like that met the level of being an egregious hold.
Yeah, it was crop. We think it was crop. It was crop call. Yeah, we'll say it. You just say you don't think it hits level would be egregious enough to call it in that situation, especially with the outcome of said play to kind of move forward. I did see them correct a couple things, though, with the advanced replay or fast replay or whatever it is. I think that's good. And to the officials' credit, it has not been a conversation every single Overreaction Monday that the refs blew games. Like, that's first time in a long time. Usually Overreaction Monday, I am high-horsing about how shitty these refs are and how they're ruining our good game. There's only been a few of them. Last night was certainly one of them where there's a lot of flags. Go ahead.
We lost the game. We gave the game away. I'm not saying the refs ruined the game. I'm saying there were calls that impact the game, but we lost the game. Nobody's blaming the refs for the game.
No. I'm just saying normally normal NFL season, it's a lot worse, these refs. This year's actually been pretty good.
Yeah.
Been pretty good this year. So it's like, I think they are striving to get better. This weekend, you got a big one. I know Davante's back in uniform alongside you, but it's a big one this weekend. AP Tone has a question for you.
Hi, Aaron. My question comes in the form of a quote from the Great Wedding Crashers movie when they're playing some touch football. Are you ready for the noise to be brought on you? Are you, Aaron?
I am. There's some special places to play in the league. There's a lot of great ones. And then there's a few that are really special. And I would say Pittsburgh is one of those places. For me, it's the history of it. I grew up watching an old VHS tape of Super Bowl highlights. And, 60s was Packers. And 70s was the Steelers. 80s was the Niners. 90s was the Cowboys. And that was kind of when it stopped. It was probably, probably didn't get to the 90s, but the 70s was the Steelers. So I grew up knowing all those names. I've got to meet some of those guys over the years, the legends that played in Pittsburgh. And It's a special place. You think about the cornerstones of the NFL. Obviously, Green Bay and Chicago, with the history and how far they go back. But you can't write the history of the NFL without the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they got a great fan base. They got a great home field advantage. They got one of my favorite coaches and people in the league, and Mike Tomlin. And they play that renegade in the fourth quarter. You know what's coming. It's a great place to play. It's loud. It's a tough environment. We had a great one there in 2009, where we had them on the ropes there right at the end and bent to a back shoulder ball to, I think, Mike Wallace to beat us in the last play of the game. And then 17, I was out with my collarbone. Brett Hundley played really well, and lost to him as well. So I think the third time I've been there. I've been there for a preseason game, I believe, in 2006. I threw a touchdown to old Doc Holliday
Great name.
on a corner route. You can go back and fact check me on that one. Might have been 07. I think it was 2006 though. And then I think we played in preseason there in 15 as well. But there's been some good matchups. I remember the first time in 2009 they brought middle dog pressure, and Lawrence Timmons hit me as hard as I've ever been hit in my life, right under the chin. And I was like, man, I hope it's not like this all night. But yeah, it's a great place to play. They got a great storied history there, great fan base. They're playing pretty well. Obviously, TJ is an absolute game wrecker. I mean, what he did last week, punching the ball out twice. I mean, you just don't see that. You see that from certain guys like Fred Warner. You kind of expect that. Freddie's like in his own category. He's incredible. But a D lineman who can lead the league in sacks and be in the defensive, player of the really the MVP or defensive player of the year conversation every year when he's healthy, and then he does this twice. I mean, not just there on the field, but he did on the goal line as well. Here you go. Thank you. There's my clip. I mean, that's just not normal. It's just not normal. Like, crazy. He's in the league by himself. So a lot of respect for him. I remember when he was coming out. I think Ty, you probably remember this. A lot of us Packers folks were really hoping to get get him in Green Bay. He's obviously had a Hall of Fame career there in Pittsburgh, and it's kind of like there's a few guys over the years where the plan kind of starts and ends with him, and it's no different. I mean, he sees it every week. There's sliding to him, they're chipping him, they're trying to slow him down, but he still finds ways to make plays. So it's going to be a good test for us, and look forward to it.
Yeah, I can't wait. That's a good Sunday Night Football match.
Good luck, Aaron. Thank you. Love you.
Well, he didn't sound like that. That wasn't what he's saying before.
Yeah, well, I was just quoting a movie.
No, before the show you said Davante, who cares?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just thought it was kind of bullshit, that you get them the week that you play the Steelers. I thought it should be a week later.
Yeah, or a week earlier. This could have happened last week, maybe next week. Why does it have to happen this week? That's
Bingo.
what Steelers fans are saying?
Maybe he won't be ready yet.
Well, yeah, is that...
he looked healthy.
What are the expectations?
Yeah,
Did he pass his physical?
Might not be ready yet. Might need to work him in.
That's smart. I think you should.
Is that right? You guys might need to work Davante Adams in? Is that an accurate way to view it if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see if he gets on a practice field.
You're the man. We appreciate you stopping by today. A lot of people watched today. There's over 100-some thousand concurrence on YouTube, let alone, obviously, with ESPN. They kind of eat into each other. But massive day to hear your thoughts on Davante. And the fact that you have him stop by, very, very grateful, brother. Thank you so much.
Well, he's been here all day. I was texting with Zito. I've been trying to get back home. And it says, you got to do this and see this guy and do this. I've been assistant chaperoning him,
tour guide.
Finish my rehab. But, thought it'd be fun to have him stop in. He was a little nervous, though.
Has he been on the program?
No, Tony.
First time.
I think it's his first time on the program because we chatted with him at the American Century Championship, and he was like,
AJ knows him and he loves AJ, but he didn't think you liked him. So
what's that all about?
That's classic.
I think I'm super complimentary. Am I not?
Right before I got on, he said, I don't think he likes me.
It has to be because the same conversation we had at the driving range. He goes, when am I going to be on the show? And I was like, you haven't been on the show? And I didn't know because we talk about him so much.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, man. And I'm like, I feel like
he was listing off about 20 names that have been on the show before him.
Oh no.
Skill position guys. Yeah.
I will. Zito just said we have put in many requests for Davante Adams. Okay, good.
That's alleged. allegedly.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
Let Davante know whoever the gatekeeper is, one step in front of him, he's holding him back. We don't like, and at the Jets, it's going to continue to, we fear.
Oh, jeez.
we fear with the relationship there as well. Let Davante know whenever the fuck he has a free moment, we'd love to have him on the program.
Well, maybe if he didn't rip everybody over here all the time, there'd be a little more receptivity.
It's hard, bro. This thing's wide open. What do you want from me? It's wide open. This thing, these things, they're just wide open. Sometimes things happen, and who would we be?
You haven't changed the bottom of that. Is that Zito? I'm just looking now. It says, at the bottom of my name there, it still says enthusiast.
Yeah,
It doesn't say non-recreational user.
That's actually Nick at the far back. He's trying to paint an image. Words are spells because the way they are spelled. So the way that he spells enthusiast there instead of non-recreational user, it's certainly a message he's trying to put out there. Also, Steeler fan. Don't forget about that.
Hey, Aaron said last week enthusiast was good. He said we never put recreational user. He cleared that up. We've always had enthusiast.
Or a habitual user or daily user.
Sure.
Just every once in a while. Daily.
Hey, shout out Greenfield Avenue. Big Mike.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Hey, what are you doing? So when you go to cities, are you in hotel, locked in hotel, game, and then leave?
There's locked in. There's no locked in.
No, do you
definitely leave the hotel?
You leave hotel whenever you go to city? Wherever you go?
You go to dinner?
Yeah. Where's a good place to eat?
We'll send you a bunch of spots.
Not Primanti's.
Big Mike. There's got to be something in Greenfield Avenue.
Don't go to Primanti's, brother.
right, okay.
Not Primanti's.
Not a lot. In
Don't do it, brother.
Okay. All right, we'll find.
Tone's the expert, isn't he?
I'll send you some stuff.
We'll get you hooked up. How many? You, Davante?
Garrett?
Yeah, I'll call the local chef. Let him know you're coming.
Maybe not. Don't go. Maybe in Pittsburgh. That's a good call because Tone does love you. But
let me just put a disclaimer out there. This is a David Bakhtiari thing over the years, but I heard it was used last week as well. If somebody calls a restaurant and says I'm going to be there, that does not guarantee that I'm going to be there. David was famous for he would call places on the road to get a back room and drop my name when I had no idea what they were going, where they were going, when they were going. I wasn't even going with them. But he would just drop my name. So all the restaurants over there who have spoken badly about me.
This guy no-showed on this end. Instead, we got a bunch of offensive linemen.
I want to set the record straight because I know Dave did this for years.
Great move by Bach.
For years.
And I will say, offensive linemen have these moves. A.Q. Shipley, he calls places ahead of time and acts like he's the agent for A.Q. Shipley.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, we got a 10-year vet.
Super Bowl champion.
A.Q. Shipley looking to come through your restaurant. Wondering if he can get a spot 2, 3, 4 people. Just wondering if he's a food critic as well, also a chef. He could bring the Super Bowl ring, showcase it to the chef. Wants to meet it, he'll do that. And then they were like, yep, no problem for Mr. Shipley. Okay, Mr. Shipley also likes. And then he gets on. We've gotten into so many very, very nice restaurants. And I'm just sitting there next to him, hearing him talk about himself in a third person. And I go, what the fuck are you doing? He goes, well, I'm the agent of mine, you see. So I would be complimenting me, would I not, if I was the agent? I'm like, okay, way to be a method actor. Got us in there. Bakhtiari he was getting a reservation everywhere that you were going. You got to respect the move.
Way to be a Miles Teller. Method actor.
Hey, he did that drum, I heard. You know that Whiplash scene? You know
Drumline. Drumline?
He was not in Drumline, I don't think.
What? Are you
sure?
Was he sure?
No, he was that one there.
I don't know. I think he could read the music. I think Miles Teller could. Two different.
His best movie though is That Awkward Moment. If you've seen it,
it's great.
Oh yeah,
so
Efron,
good. So good.
Michael B. Jordan.
Miles is in it. I'm watching it.
It's a great rom-com.
Great, fantastic.
Absolutely. Does he have any more? What's he up to? I know he's cheering on Phillies. Philly's out.
Yeah,
they are.
Very quick.
What's Miles Towers doing? It's baseball season.
He's
filming something. New Top Gun coming at some point.
Is that what he's doing there?
Top Gun. New Top Gun's coming. Yep.
What?
Is that breaking?
Oh yeah.
I don't think that's breaking, but
how's he feel that Glenn Powell's now the number one man on that set?
Okay, we are getting reports from the back. He's working on 5 projects. None of them are Top Gun.
Well, yeah, because Top Gun doesn't start until TC says, "Hey, it's fucking go time."
Well, and I heard he doesn't have a phone either. TC.
He does though.
He shows up.
Yeah.
He sends a carrier pigeon.
Got Glenn Powell's number. No big deal, because we're going to Texas, Georgia this weekend. Ty's immediate thought is text him, ask him for TC's number.
Yep.
What are we even doing here? Yeah. And then we Googled TC doesn't have a number. Email, website, got to find him.
Just skydives in.
He'll find you.
Yes, he will. DC, we're looking.
How many people in the sports media are doing what Miles and some of these entertainers doing on the Ozempic, though?
What are you talking
That's a rumor. That's not confirmed.
You say Miles.
Seems like that was pretty direct. Miles jacked up, not eating a lot now? Is that a conversation that's happening around Miles Teller camp?
There's a lot of rampant Ozempic use, I think, going on.
Big O.
I think so, too.
Not here, brother.
Cannot confirm. Can't confirm.
Tone Diggs, actually, he did the old school way.
Yep,
He lost
working hard.
65 pounds in 1 month. He did the old school way.
Diet, working hard, wearing trash bags.
That's right. Not having General Tso's chicken every single morning somehow and losing weight.
Clears you out.
It's amazing.
My body doesn't agree with China.
Sounds like Miles and Tone got.
Wow.
Amen, brother.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey, and that goes back to America. Fuck yeah. All right, Aaron. I'll see you later, brother.
Hey, see you guys.
Congratulations on getting an old friend back. Sucks you lost last night, though. But you guys are still in it, very much in it. And I think that's the mindset heading forward. Good luck. Ladies and gentlemen, 4-time NFL MVP Aaron Rodgers. He said South Park guy's going through some real hard times in his life.
Yeah.
I was wondering a lot of things, and I watched that, and I'm like, yeah.
Every day for a week.
This is it. They've done it for us, too. Trey and Matt, I don't know if this younger generation fully gets it.
They don't.
They don't. This thing would show up every single week, and it was just like,
oh my God,
everybody, literally everybody.
They still had a fastball?
When they want
the
to.
specials.
I know we kind of came up in a different era.
Yeah, we did.
You know?
Well, I think that's why they are maybe more important now than ever.
It's different now too because they're not doing they're more so doing like the movies that they just do that come out on like Paramount Plus. I mean, they were we talked about like the 6 days to air. Like they were doing 25 episodes of TV, doing it the week of, like just crazy shit. That's not happening.
Yeah, and we appreciate it. I'm lucky to grow up in the generation of
Yeah.
South Park, and Aaron's saying the same exact thing. We can't wait to see what they do next. The movies, though, I guess are,
they're hilarious.
Yeah, you got to find them though. They are.
Yeah.
They've made billions of dollars.
Yes,
of course. Max has a few of them too.
They are so wealthy. They got Broadway plays.
Yep.
Shout out to the Mormons.
Shout out.
Movies, TV.
Hey, BYU fans.
Probably.
Doing it.
All right, we're out of here. We'll continue on YouTube, ESPN Plus, and TikTok Live. Fallout from the Aaron conversation. We will see you tomorrow on a glorious College Ball Wednesday. What? See you then. Right on cue. Bang. Nice. Yeah, we got Coach Munkin from Army on tomorrow.
Nice.
And Coach Signetti.
Oh my God.
Light him up.
In the first hour. Both those teams obviously rolling.
Bunch of dogs.
Cannot wait to chat with both of them. And then obviously college ball is incredibly alive. Storylines, insanity. Cannot wait to keep up with all of it this weekend as we go to Austin, Texas for College Game Day. I think numbers are coming out for Game Day at Oregon. I think it was pretty big.
Not bad.
Crushed.
So
I think it was pretty big. Ohio State. Ohio State, Oregon, obviously massive. Is that a new rivalry? Are we going to consider that? We have to, right? I think.
Yeah, should. Absolutely. Yeah, it should be. Don't you think?
Yeah, both teams are going to remain great. I mean, that is just how it's going to go.
Sure.
Both teams have everything you want for this new era of college ball. So I assume this is going to be something that's going to live on. Numbers through the roof for this match.
I mean, there's a heavy chance that they see each other in the Big Ten championship. So when you have the first three last week and then you play in the Big Ten championship, yeah, the rivalry is already going to be created.
Yeah, and then college football playoff, who does what? Home team
Unless
playoff.
Iowa,
Well, Iowa Hawkeyes.
Hawks are
They put it on
kind
the
of
Huskies
back
this week.
Yeah, Hawks are kind of back a little bit. Their 2 losses have been the 2 top 10 teams. So I mean,
What do you expect from them?
yeah, what are you going to do?
And Neil Brown's asking the same questions. Everybody's judging that a little bit differently, but nonetheless.
What did Neil ask? What's Neil talking about?
Neil just said, "Did you have fun?" You tell me.
He's trying to look at, he's a glass half full guy then.
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed. They don't want to hear it.
It always works.
They don't want to hear it. Because all these stats are rolling out every day out of those fans. Jeez Louise.
How long has he been there?
Too long.
Like
What,
3,
three, 4, 5 years?
15 years.
I think it's 6-7 years.
Oh, that's a long time.
It felt like 6-7 decades, brother.
COVID though.
COVID.
Yeah.
Different time.
And they've all been fun years.
No, that's the thing.
So fun.
No, there's.
Yeah.
They'd be ranked in the top 5 if it was out of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. Which is why the program could be. And I think that's a big takeaway from the loss to Iowa State at home. Coal rush night.
Yeah.
Coal miners in attendance.
They had the boys juice too. Did you see them walking through the coal miners before the game?
Yeah.
Wore the all black.
Yeah.
Sick.
Fans tailgating. They used it as a homecoming. Like, that's West Virginia fans. They treat any big game like it's a homecoming. So not only is everybody in the state going to these games, biggest event by far every single fucking week in the state. Everybody's going there. And the reason why I know that is because I was getting death threats from every part of the fucking state. That's how many people were coming in. It's the only team. You know, Marshall's there, but it's really the only team that they have to celebrate, and they do. And then if it's a big game, marquee matchup, people that want to West Virginia are looking for excuses to go back to Morgantown. You know, to rekindle with the boys or the girls to kind of experience what you did in college in Morgantown, West Virginia. The party is always massive. The atmosphere, huge. The energy through the roof, which goes back to what I said last hour. We fucking got to win these games.
Yeah.
Another chance this week.
I don't know if it's going to happen.
So there's no reason to put this tweet up, but that is exactly how I felt. Congrats.
Who they got next? Who's the next game?
Kansas State. It's a big one. Okay, they're
Oh,
very
no.
good. Yeah,
Oh.
at home, which is why he gave the answer he gave, because a lot of people were like, seems like what happened last week is about to happen again. Iowa State, really good team in the Big 12. Primetime game at night. You know, Coal Rush, everybody's jacked up, homecoming, we're here, we're doing this. And then disappointment. Now we got Kansas State, same massive fucking game.
Huge.
Kansas State could win the Big 12, go into the college football playoff. Very much so, fresh off a massive win over Colorado. Avery Johnson, Giddens, the whole thing. They're very, very good. Why would anybody want to do what they just did last weekend? Again, and Neil Brown said, well, there has to be some fun times.
Well, I don't know. Tailgate looked like a good time, didn't it? Stadium atmosphere is fun. Concession prices are cheap. I don't know. You tell me. What's not fun about that?
Well, and I like that he was, to your point, looking for the silver lining. And that was certainly a silver lining in the entire thing, but nobody heard him because once again we fucking lost another big time game.
Yeah.
He should have guaranteed a victory.
He should have.
He should right now.
He should.
How about this? This will be fun. I'm guaranteeing a dub.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And then if he loses, who cares? It's another week.
Yeah, exactly.
Who cares? Yeah, doesn't matter.
That goes completely against Neil Brown. I watched a lot of clips of his press conferences now. We're getting put out there.
Oh, yeah.
The amount of credit he gives to other teams. He's such a kind man.
Credit to them.
Yeah. It's like what Belichick does. You know, Belichick always would compliment the other team.
Before the game.
Yeah, how many losses?
Yeah,
not 100 times I heard him
Post-game.
crediting others. Credit to this team. Credit to
They were just more prepared. We weren't prepared.
Credit to Gundy. He's got a really good team over there. It's like
They're ready to go.
We
We
better
weren't.
than last year.
They executed.
And his entire thing was trust the climb. Like, hey, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. And then it's like, when are we getting there?
But did you have fun?
All right, guys. Let's get to a break, please. I trust the boys. I like the guys on that team.
Yeah.
I think we got the guys. Just never happens.
One day.
Changes this weekend.
One day.
There's a path to the Big 12 championship.
There is. Still there.
It's all out in front of them.
WVU ain't on that path, brother.
Yes, they can get back on
There's
it.
a lefty gunslinger just sitting and waiting.
Whoa.
GG can run wild for as long
Brother.
as he wants to. I think this West Virginia Mountaineers team can get it straight this weekend against Kansas State. There is not a single shred of evidence that would lead you to believe that you should think that
No.
in this Neil Brown era.
Bums me out.
But I have hope
Hell yeah.
because I watched a video this morning that was put together of all the Neil Brown highlights during his era.
Yep.
It's the climb, baby.
Yeah.
How long was that?
I want to see that video. Can I see that
25
video?
seconds.
3.5 minutes,
It's a
brother.
good video.
Was it set to Miley
I think it was
Cyrus's
3:47
Yeah.
to be exact.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I think.
Always going to be another mountain.
I was gonna be another man. Always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be another battle. Sometimes you're gonna have
Got a
to
little
lose.
noise.
This is everyone's noise.
Good. Get there.
You know what it is? It's the climb.
Thank you, Miley.
Hold
They
on,
don't
go to
tell
like
ya.
go to like 140 for me.
It wouldn't take you 6 years to climb Kilimanjaro. If it takes you 6 years to trust the climb, guess what? You're dying on that fucking mountain. So he's got to turn it around quick.
Well, there's always gonna be another man.
There it is.
Look at the transitions in that video. It's a well-produced video.
We will say West Virginia and Neil Brown
That's
did
tough.
not get final edit of this video. Okay, this was put out by a Mountaineer fan, I think called Irrational. Is that who
Yeah.
And they said no matter what, you could never make.
I will say West Virginia's social media has gotten pretty entertaining. Okay? They have a good, which once again, good fans, good uniform,
What?
good brand,
What?
good logo,
What?
good social presence.
What?
It has it all.
Great
AJ.
state.
We has it all.
What else they need? What
To
else
play
they
and
need?
win games. They need to win games.
More points.
Just win
Well,
than the other team. That's all we need.
It's the process. It's the process.
It's a climb. All right, this one goes in.
Climb complete.
Kansas State.
Blowout.
Beat K-State.
Beat Kansas State.
College football
Yep.
playoff.
Come on,
A
football.
lot riding on this one.
One time.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I thought it was in.
You had it.
You've
I've been
shooting
making
well.
shots,
yeah,
too.
You've been shooting
Yeah.
well lately.
Yeah, got to shoot a three.
It's a bad sign.
It's like Neil
Not
Bond.
lost your misery. That was the universe.
It's too late. Anyway.
It's always close.
There's always gonna be another mountain.
I'm dead.
Man. Okay.
Poor coal miners.
That's what
Here we
I've been
go.
saying. It's not about the coal miners. Coal miners game was last weekend.
Poor guy.
Yeah, they already lost that one.
West Virginia is an international brand.
That's right.
They're wearing their mountain
Yeah.
uniform.
Yeah, they are.
That's why they gotta, build this thing up.
You go overtime win.
Oh boy, what's the gimmick this week? If it was coal miners last week, is there another
They
gimmick?
said wind
Wilderness.
farmers.
Coal miners isn't a gimmick, AJ.
Oh.
Show some respect.
The damage
Thank you, Gumpy.
he did to the coal industry is irreparable.
Man.
I don't know if it was him. There's a lot of other people making decisions too.
Fucking frackers.
Well, it's interesting how that works.
There's clean coal. What's clean coal? I hear about that too.
Well, there's also, where we need the energy somewhere. I'm not.
You put it in
Is it the same?
water
I don't
machine.
know.
Who knows?
I don't know. Is it a bump? We'll be back. West Virginia needs to figure it out.
Yeah, they do.
They will.
It
will.
sounds
You
like
disrespect the coal miners. That's where I draw the line, brother.
they didn't disrespect. They paid,
Somebody did.
they paid tribute to the coal miners.
They did.
Yeah.
Disrespected them with the loss.
Could have made a couple more plays for coal miners.
Yeah.
I mean, the coal miners knew they were just going there to have fun. They knew they probably weren't
They
winning.
had fun.
Coal miners.
They did have fun.
Coal miners said we didn't travel all the way here, Morgantown, for you guys to stink.
Boy.
And they didn't stink. They had fun. I hope they felt the love because they deserved it.
They
The
had
state of West Virginia. Let's get the fuck out of this conversation.
Both
Probably the
hours.
first day they've
fun.
had off in 6 months.
Yep, for sure.
Trust the climb.
It's the climb.
Come on, boys.
Come on, boys. Try to
Get
go.
on fire up.
Don't fuck me here,
Come
boys.
on, boys. Pull
I got
on toughness.
got my-
We need more of the burgundy suits there.
Got my paycheck on this, boys. Don't fuck me.
Gambling is legal in West Virginia, sports gambling.
They all got the Mountaineer logo on their helmet, too.
Damn right.
Poor lads.
They're like, we don't get to climb anything. We're actually down. We climb down.
Yeah,
You guys have been climbing up.
Living with the Canaries.
All right. Canary is a very important piece.
Very important.
Huge.
I think.
Burgundy did have some good juice.
Burgundy had a lot of good juice.
We need more burgundy.
He's the only
Was
one.
he?
What?
No, I
What's
just
that?
wondered what. Did he play?
Yes!
3 sacks.
Guy tore it up. Has.
Yeah.
Got a lot of those guys.
3 sacks. Okay.
Yeah, outside linebackers, strongest group of the
Nice.
team you could say.
Have you ever heard of Victor Cabral?
I have. I heard he's a hot name on the coaching carousel.
Yeah,
Blaine Stewart? You ever heard of Blaine
Oh,
Stewart?
yeah.
Cabral
He's-
might be the DC of the fucking Colts next.
All right, we'll be
Tom
back.
Arnold?
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. He went down in there with the Cole, mate, which is why I appreciate him. He's a good guy. We just need to win games. We need to win fucking games.
He went down there and the Canaries started singing.
Canary sang whenever. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Might change their life, like our friends at Dude Wipes. Need a lot of Dude Wipes over there. Maybe their cheeks are rubbing. Maybe it's the problem with the cheeks.
Maybe they just are cheeks.
Send him a power.
Beat me to it, you son of a bitch.
Get your money back.
Take 5.
Why is football the greatest sport on earth? And do you think football is the greatest sport on earth? And why do you like football?
That's a really deep question there, Pat.
I know. I think I'd get a good answer out of you, though. Like, I think you'd be able to talk about it in a way that I think a lot of people haven't because you've been at the pinnacle of it for so damn long and inside of it. And your brain is a pretty fantastic one. We've learned here over the last few weeks, obviously. Last few weeks, that's it. That's all the time we've learned that.
I think it's the greatest sport in the world for one main reason. It is a true team sport where it is damn near impossible for one person to dominate an entire game. And if you look at other team sports, basketball with 5 guys on the court, I think you've seen multiple players over the years. Maybe one player, maybe 1 or 2 players on a squad be able to dominate and win championships. Baseball, you can have a dominant pitcher and win championships. Soccer, you can have a dominant forward and or goalie. That seems to be a little more of a team sport, but you don't have 11 players engaged at the same time on every play. It is truly a sport reliant on every player on the field to do their job in order to be successful. And I think that's why at times, certain star players can get maybe too much credit and maybe too much blame on the flip side, because it does take so many players at the same time in 3 phases to win football games. And I think that's the beauty and the draw of our sport, is that something new happens all the time, because you are literally dealing with 11 humans on the field at one time who all have lives outside of football, and there's distractions, there's a reliance on coaching, there's a reliance on preparation, there's a reliance on diet and performance. I just think there's so many facets to it that you see something new every single week, and I think that's the beauty in our game. When it comes to the love that I have for it, it's rooted, and I think like any player who's played for a long time, the love is not just about our sport, it's about competition. And I think there's nothing in the world for me that fills that need and that hole I have like competition. I think if players who play for a long time at a high level, you have that need to be satiated competitively, and it's a love of going out there and going against guys and being in an environment where you know that nothing is guaranteed. And that's why I, at times, I've taken umbrage to people saying that it's easy, because it's not easy. It's never easy. And I think that's the beauty in our game, is that you see things new every single week. It's never easy. And your only thing you're guaranteed is the ability to compete. I love that aspect of it. I love competing. I love going out there and harnessing the fear of failure, where I think so many people who maybe don't love football as much, the root of that is a deep fear of failure, that you might go out there and your best might not be good enough, and that's not okay with you.
Probably the most interesting trade was the Randy Moss trade. After the draft, the first day of the draft, we've been trying to trade for Randy Moss for 2 months, all like childbirth. I mean, it took forever. After the first day of the draft, I talked to Mr. Davis. I said, "Are we going to make this deal or not?" And he said, "Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it for your 4th." And I think we were picking like 7th in the 4th round. I said, "Well, we got to get the guy for a physical. We can't take his contract. We're going to have to renegotiate his contract." And Mr. Davis said, "Well, that's your problem. If you want to trade for him, then you get it done." I said, "All right." I call up Randy. "Hey, Randy, this is Coach Belichick." Boom. Hangs up the phone.
What?
Let me try this again. "Randy, it's Coach Belichick." "Who is this? Who's pranking me? Who is this?" Boom. Hangs up the phone. "Randy, this is Coach Belichick. We traded for you." "What? Is this a joke? This better not be a joke. Who is this?" No. This is, all right. "Really?" I said, "Yeah, but look, we got to get this done by tomorrow at noon." He goes, "All right, what do I need to do?" I said, "You need to come up and take a physical, and we need to renegotiate your contract." "It's by noon?" "Yeah." He goes, "Well, I'm in Houston now, but I got a plane. I'll be there."
Nice.
He flies, and he's there at 8 o'clock in the morning, comes in and takes the physical. You know, the old,
Yeah. Make sure he's
alive. Okay, you're good. Renegotiate the contract. We're done at 10 o'clock. And first thing he says to me is, "Where's the playbook?"
Oh, that's awesome.
I said, "Right here." He said, "Okay, because when I walk out there with the first team with Brady, I got to know all the plays. I can't go out there and make mental errors and screw up. I got to know his offense." And he was smart, man. This guy was smart. "On this post-safety coverage, what are you going to do?" He goes, "Coach, you ain't going to see any post-safety coverage against me." Like, oh. He goes, "You're going to see cover 2. We haven't seen cover 2 in years." He's like, "You're going to see cover 2. And he was right. And then he would say, "Well, here's how I'd run this route. Here's how I'd run that route." And I started thinking, like, we got to start giving Randy some routes. We're running this, and they play cover 2. How we can move him into the slot. He's like, "Move me into the slot." I said, "Yeah, so you can get in the middle of cover 2. He's like, "All right, good." 25 touchdowns.
So many.
Yeah, opens up the running game, too.
But I'm telling you, it was Randy, come on, man. Trying to.
this Feel Good Friday, August 23rd, 2024. We are live from J.R. Mahin's.
Drinks are on Pat McAfee tonight, fella. Let's go!
Hop, 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 hop. The fact that anybody knows we exist in Ireland, we are so incredibly thankful. So to all of you, we say, Banter!
I just want Kirk to know I got 1,000 phone calls when we got in the playoffs. He didn't have anything to do with them not getting in the playoffs, and I didn't either. But we both got hammered.
Some of us did get hammered last night. We have real football happening today for the first time in months. This is a beautiful time in a wonderful town.
It's Fight Night, baby!
Davis is his name.
We gotta go for Georgia Tech. I gotta go. I would be that back in the country if I didn't pick Georgia Tech.
44 yards away to do it. He got it! He got it! And the Yellow Jackets did it!
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this massive breaking news, Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, October 15th, 2024. Hour 3 of the program starts now. Football is awesome and always cooking. That's AJ Hawk. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor and Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys AP Tone is here. 9-year NFL vet, host of everything DB, Good D, Bad D, which will be coming later in this hour. Darius J. Butler is here. There are some rumblings now around the internet that Amari Cooper has also been traded to the Buffalo Bills. So on the same morning, Davante Adams was traded away from the Las Vegas Raiders to the New York Jets for a third rounder, conditional second potentially if they make it to the AFC Championship and he plays, or the Super Bowl and Davante plays, or if he's voted first team or second team All-Pro by the Associated Press, that'll become a second round pick. Now, allegedly, Amari Cooper has been traded from Browns to the Buffalo Bills. Now, Amari Cooper was a Raider, then he was a Dallas Cowboy, then he was traded to the Browns, and now he's a guy who is going to join Josh Allen, Mac Hollins, with, hey, he's always barefoot, that guy.
Oh, yeah. Feel the ground.
Shoes are just a tool.
That is interesting, and his hair is.
Why don't he play barefoot then? Huh? Just go all
Not allowed to.
That'd be so
all in with the gimmick.
He would, but
It's
he's
not
not
a
allowed
gimmick.
to.
Kickers.
It's a real thing.
He doesn't use utensils either. He eats with his hands like a man.
I don't mind that.
How come you're not out there grinding yourself barefoot out there in the wild?
I do from time to time. I like grounding myself.
So does it work on turf though?
Nope.
I don't.
Not real
Must be grass, right?
Be
Grass
connected
or
to the
sand.
soil.
I think sand feels the best. Sand's the best, foot ankle rehab you can get if you walk on sand.
Yeah, but
For
sand connected to earth, right?
Yeah, I think it's still like the electromagnetic pulse of the earth still gets to your body. I guess.
Grass connected to earth, right?
Yes, correct.
Yep.
The turf is above cement.
Yeah,
right.
Doesn't work.
I don't know. Does it? Is it? Are you still?
I think it works.
Nope.
I think
I think he likes a feel for it.
I'll
I
allow
think
it.
Matt just likes the feel for it. You know what I mean? Because he scored a nice touchdown last night.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I think it plays because turf bone's connected to the cement bone, and the cement bone is
connected to
the
the-
earth bone.
Yeah.
which is connected to Mac's feet.
Bingo.
So we're all good. Well, anyways, allegedly, Amari Cooper's joining them. That's a big-time trade, it feels like, for this Buffalo Bills team, who traded away Stephon Diggs in the offseason to the Houston Texans, now potentially bringing in a new number one. 15 games last year. He had how many yards?
1,250.
With the Cleveland Browns, obviously, Joe Flacco comes in there. Amari Cooper becomes a massive piece of that entire story. D-Bud, what is Amari Cooper? And if this trade is real, which was reported by Schulte. But hey, listen.
They're out there. There's a lot more out there.
Rap sheet.
Okay, so certainly real. Congratulations to Amari Cooper getting traded to the Buffalo Bills offense, who has Josh Allen.
Yeah, I mean he's been and has been in multiple places a legit number one. You know, he's not. I wouldn't say he's not where Davante Adams is, but he's a savvy route runner. Had some drops earlier this year, but you can't really get a real feel of how he is right now with how shitty that Browns offense has been up front and with the quarterback play. So coming to a quarterback in an offense like Josh Allen, giving him another security blanket, kind of what he had with Stephon Diggs, with the other young pieces around him, to be in that room and be able to grow and watch him. This is huge, I think, for Keon Coleman. Shakir, to be in that meeting room and being around a pro like Amari Cooper. Was he drafted top 5 when he came in?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then it's been, like I said, productive everywhere he's been. So I love this move from the Buffalo Bills.
And never says,
No.
just always.
No issues off the – he's kind of, I mean, just like Julio was, from Bama, just guys that come in and grind.
Josh Allen.
Yeah, he must – I mean, Amari Cooper is the happiest person on the planet right now.
How about Bean?
Yeah,
Bean.
absolutely.
Bean's got to be thrilled as well because you come off a win. All right, they're 4-2. Like Mike Greenberg did this entire thing earlier on our show and on Get Up, I think, where he was like, with this Josh Allen era over the next 15 years, because of the contracts and the way you have to kind of finagle your way through the salary cap with some cap gymnastics or whatever, you're going to have some times where, and then there are going to be times where their team is full go. He's like, right now they're in like well, they just beat the Jets.
Yeah.
They beat they're 4-2, and they add Amari Cooper. It's like Brandon Bean's cooking up there as well.
Getting healthier on defense as well. The safeties, I felt like, played really, really well last night. Taylor Rapp flying around, collisions, getting Teron Johnson back in the slot, one of the best slot defenders in the league. When he's healthy, he was banged up to begin the year. Is Milano supposed to come back this year, or he's out for the rest of the year? Yeah, that's obviously a huge missing piece for them. Getting healthier on the back end, that's always great. And then getting a weapon like this for Josh Allen. Josh Allen's obviously a weapon. So for Green to come on and say that, hour and a half later, they make this trade. Great job by Brandon
Bean was listening to Greeny. We're like, yes.
He's dancing on the show, huh? Okay.
Well, you guys are coming out to New York. Okay. There's only one team that's in New York, is what Bean said.
Amen.
And it's the Buffalo Bills.
That's right.
Josh Allen just got a great weapon. Full details have been released. Buffalo gets wide receiver Amari Cooper and a 6th in 2025. Cleveland will get a 3rd in 2025 and a 7th in 2026. And there's a lot of teams around the NFL wondering, Amari Cooper was available for that? That's what Amari Cooper was available for? What does his contract look like?
So they restructured it right before the season to make it more tradable. I know because when was it? Was it during the – there was trade talks for him earlier this season.
Early, yeah. And I think
are the Browns just packing it in? What's it mean for the Browns? Sorry to cut you off. What's this mean for them?
That's a good question, brother.
Are they going to start trading away multiple pieces now?
And then what's the future look like for them? Because, allegedly the Deshaun contract not as locked tight as everybody had first reported. Another wide receiver trade on a busy day. Buffalo desperately needed wide receiver help with Cooper. Looked like a player who really needed it, with Cooper's base salary all the way down to $1.21 million this season.
What?
So they paid him. They paid him up front to be able to trade him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, can we go back to what it cost again? A 3rd and a 7th.
3rd and a 7th.
Yep.
$1.21 million, $800,000.
Yeah. I had to give up a 6 as well.
Guy's a Pro Bowler, perennial Pro Bowler.
Wow.
What are we doing? Why are we always the ones that feel this way? Why do we always feel like, wow, that feels like real light to get Amari Cooper on your team? That is insane to add a instant playmaker.
What would they argue? Would front office people argue, hey, well, that's a lot to give up 2 picks for a guy for 10 games or something? Is that what they would say?
They're giving up 1 really though, because you're getting 1 back.
That's what they would say. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, you're getting a better one than the 7th.
Yeah,
so it actually.
I think it's a good. Yeah, I'd take that. If I'm the Bills, I'll take that all day long. You only owe him $807,000 for the rest of the year.
Why do we always view it that way though? Feels like we view it like this one feels like a heist. This for me. This is what this feels like. Getting Amari Cooper like that for 1 pick, seemingly. A 3rd rounder in 2025, which Bean, I assume, will be able to get back however he wants. And then the 6th and the 7th, Bean actually wins that one. Why do we always feel this way? I mean, Josh Allen's fucking thinking we were able to get him for what, a 3rd rounder pretty much?
Yeah.
And we got to pay him less than some special teamers we have on this team this year? Was there a contract owed? Like for this deal to really get done at some point if they renegotiated this thing?
No, so they gave him all that money, whatever he was due, they gave him all up front at the beginning of the season. So he's basically a free agent after this season.
And he's only 30 years old, I guess. He's
only 30? Wow. Yeah, he's been in the league forever.
Yeah.
Seasoned vet.
Congrats to the Bills. Big win.
Good move.
They're in the lead in the AFC.
That window.
Congrats to Amari.
Peeking back open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, AJ, and then your question about Cleveland's a good one. What do you think?
I mean, they're just going to start shopping everybody, I would assume, right? Anyone with big numbers?
Deshaun Watson murdered their franchise. Let's just call it what it is.
I mean, do they have hope? Yeah, what do they?
That's
I don't know, man.
They're just
what do
biding their time until Nick Chubb is off IR, and then they're going to run him into the ground, unfortunately.
He could come back soon, right?
Yeah,
really
he was
soon.
back practicing. His window opened last week, I think, 3-week window or 4.
Maybe they send Myles Garrett to Detroit now.
Please.
For a 2 and a bag of balls.
What's that? Some Cleveland Brown fan put out.
I saw that.
What's the name of that song, Mr. Brightside?
Yeah.
About the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, Mr. Haslam.
I'm trying to think of his
you
name.
call it Mr. Haslam.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was about that.
Yeah.
The things that they ran through there with the history of how we got to this point in that particular mockery of a song. Well done, by the way. Very well done. When you think there's only one verse, there's another.
Full song.
It's a full song. I mean, a lot of words had to be wrote, singing, the passion, the connection, everything. Way to go. Baker had them win a playoff. Not enough. That's not enough, they said. Yeah. And then he gets kicked out of that building. Remember, that's kind of how it goes down. He gets kicked out of that building.
Yes, wide receivers are making videos. They're papas.
They're trying to get traded out of there. And they're like, yeah, you got it, man. I understand completely.
They got OBJ. They were going to win the Super Bowl.
Then they pay the biggest of all time to a quarterback? Of all that?
With
it's almost like the football gods were like, what
No, we got
Who the fuck do you think you are?
Yeah, you think you're allowed to have an NFL team and operate like this?
We give you Baker, we give you a playoff win, and you think you can fucking turn around and do this shit with a guy with everything that's going on with him?
Against Pittsburgh, they get a playoff win.
Yeah.
Not only just a playoff win, it's a playoff win against Pittsburgh.
They didn't have their head coach.
You end Pittsburgh's season. You ended Pittsburgh, all Yinzers and the Steelers. You end their season. And for people that don't know, like Pittsburgh Steelers, Cleveland Browns used to be like it used to be a real thing.
Ben Roethlisberger has the most wins in that stadium, I believe, of any quarterback.
Okay, so that's how Pittsburgh people feel about Cleveland. And Cleveland feels that way about Pittsburgh.
And then they give it to him in the playoffs, and Stefanski turns around. Maybe it wasn't Stefanski.
Maybe it was higher up.
Maybe it was Haslam, but we do know Stefanski threw the ball 60 times with Baker Mayfield having a hurt shoulder.
Against Pittsburgh Steelers.
So everyone could be like, Baker Mayfield's got a noodle arm. He can't throw anymore. We need to go out and pay a guy $230 million.
Seven's last game.
What an interesting, the way they're going to view this Cleveland Browns situation is
not over anytime soon. I mean, what's the light at the end of the tunnel right now for them?
2 more years, 2027. That's the light.
Is it? No, because I thought remember this year they came out.
But the dead cap, right? For the next
post
2
June
years.
1, but the dead cap's massive, which I guess we've seen the Broncos. Like, you would never think that before they did that with Russ. True. You wouldn't think a team would do that.
That was 83, right? Is what the Broncos give up in dead cap over this season and next season.
I think you almost have to just hope that you are fucking awful this year and that you get a top 3 pick or whatever, and you can maybe draft a quarterback. Like, there's no way you can look at it right now and be like, hey, next year Deshaun will be the guy that he was in Houston and 2014 or whenever he was, a top 5 quarterback. Like, there's nothing out there. There's no evidence that says he's going to be that guy again.
You know that story that they tell about the man who is like, a flood's about to happen or whatever.
Yeah.
And the flood takes place. Everybody leaves town except for him. And a boat comes up to him with a bunch of people that are saving him. They're like, hey, buddy, come on, get in. He goes, no, I'm going to let God decide,
God's going to save me.
God's going to say, God will give you a sign. And then again, they come and do it, and it's like, no, I'm going to let God decide. And then he dies, and he asks God, why didn't you save me? He's like, I sent you 2 boats.
Yeah.
I sent you 2 boats in there. Cleveland Browns, Baker Mayfield wins them a playoff game. Joe Flacco gets them to the playoffs. They ship, no, this ain't. It's like they seemingly had the answers, over their existence here and recent, and then it just hasn't been the way they've decided to go. It doesn't make much sense to me, legitimately. Like letting Joe Flacco, not even giving him an offer. I understand you're trying to hype up the quarterback that you paid the most amount of money to and everything like that, But how many quarterbacks played last year in total? 66?
66, yep.
Yeah.
66. You're going to need a good backup quarterback anyways. But just because you didn't want the Browns fans to say, that guy's better than that guy, and you paid all that money to that guy, it's like, that seems like an amateur decision. You know, like that seems like an amateur decision there. Then you think about the Baker situation. That feels like an amateur decision.
Mm-hmm.
Then you see some other shit. It's like, that feels like an amateur decision. And they've had it right in front of them a couple times. And once again, it's like amateur decision. We're going the other way. I don't get it, really.
And then you hear, like, what's going on with Jameis Winston, where, like, he's the one talking to the team. Like, isn't the starting quarterback is kind of leader of the team, but the backup quarterback in Jameis is the one, like, addressing everybody and getting everybody hyped up.
And going to community events.
Yeah.
Cutting ribbons.
He even said that. Didn't Deshaun even say, like, Jameis kind of takes some of the heat off of me because he's so vocal and he's, like, such a vocal leader that I can kind of hang back?
Yeah. Jameis told us that.
And then the Deshaun stuff where he's like, I'm not asking to get hit more. What do you think is this?
Yeah. I wonder what he's thinking. Like, does Deshaun ever do any other, like, long-form interviews? I'd like to see him in a long-form, like, sit-down. Just
for the Just Cut Deshaun Now crowd, this is Spotrac, who is a weapon. Spotrac is he's an absolute dog. For the Cut Deshaun, now 2024 dead cap, 120 million basically, 93 million in cash.
He posted that September 9th, sorry.
No, yeah, September 9th, 2024, 80 million.
That's 100. That's 100.
For the Cut Deshaun after 2024, the 2025 dead cap will be 119 million.
Man.
93 million. 2026 will be 54 million. That's not bad. Okay, we're getting down. For the Cut Deshaun after the 2025 season.
Okay.
2026 dead cap, 73 million. And then 2027 see only 27 million. So we're in year 2024 right now. Mm-hmm. So light at the end of the tunnel seems to be kind of shaded a little bit by objects. And those objects are big piles of fucking money.
Mm-hmm.
And
David,
that's a lot. That's a lot. 118 regardless.
Let's not forget they gave up 3 firsts.
Mm-hmm. And if they, the good news is if they draft like a quarterback, then he can just be like a vet backup and kind of show him the ropes.
Yeah, because it feels like that's potentially why Joe Flacco wasn't offered it.
Mm-hmm. Tell him how to act and stuff like that.
It's kind of just that they made their bed, now they got to sleep in it.
Yeah.
Has him sleeping in a really comfortable bed.
Yeah. And I think he's a scumbag, so I don't think he really cares.
Jeez Louise, allegedly.
No, I don't think that's alleged. I think with the Flying J, I think some of the stuff that he's done is...
You're talking about the rewards points?
Yeah, that's part of it, and some stuff with, some gas hijinks and whatnot.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I did hear those reward points were tough to cash in.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
You got to run them up. You can get them.
You do.
You can certainly get the points.
That's right.
Can you use
them?
I don't know. That's what that was said.
Yes, exactly.
Well, hopefully for Browns fans, they'll figure it out. But 2029.
There's not much hope.
Yep. No, I think
not much hope for the Browns fans. I'm around a lot of Browns fans.
If you're a Browns fan, you for shoot have to look yourself in the mirror and be like, this isn't worth it. I need to pick a new team.
So the Browns actually did that. Remember, they got up and left and went to Baltimore.
Yeah.
They gave them the opportunity to do that. But these Dog Pound members were just like.
It's family. Families grow up. You grow up Browns fan. My grandpa watched, my dad watched. I'm a Browns fan. I'm not jumping ship now, but they're all miserable, actually.
I will say this about Browns fans. Tough, yeah. I think they're inherently tougher than most people because mentally, obviously on the lake with how cold it is in the winter, having to deal with that makes you a little tougher having to deal with that mentally. But then just getting whacked in the shins repeatedly in very creative ways.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Creative. Mm-hmm. Very creative ways. Biggest contract in the history, biggest guarantee, biggest hopes of all time. Coach of the year, this guy, here we go. Creatively, that seems like a good little, and then bang, like a funny way to build up hope. And then bang, drop them back down. And then now with Amari Cooper getting traded out of there, it's like, what is the sign you're saying to the rest of the team? Just like with Las Vegas. What are they saying? What are they doing? Because just a few, months ago now at this point, Davante was a pillar of the Raiders. You know who else was?
Yeah.
Max.
You said it, AJ, not me this hour.
They're not getting rid of Max. I don't think they'll shop him, honestly.
I agree.
He's still playing.
Great? Cleveland fans, too. We give them shit all the time, but, if they go to their team's sporting event and you're from Cleveland, you're always going to wear your Cleveland clothes, okay? Doesn't matter who you're there with. Doesn't matter what city, and you're going to wear your Cleveland. You're going to support your team.
What are you talking
And you're not going to smile when the other team hits home runs and stuff like that, okay?
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Listen, baseball did happen last night.
Wow.
Just saying. That's Cleveland.
Well, Cleveland is a great sports town.
Exactly.
It creates great sports legends and icons. One of them was at a baseball game last night with his lady.
Who?
And everybody is judging every frame of picture that they were on TV.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Guardian fan.
Yeah. I didn't see him wearing any Guardians clothes.
It's because he was trying to lay low. He was trying to remain low key.
Or was he doing fashion?
No, well, maybe he's doing fashion. It's New
His
York.
Cleveland baseball gear is a lot of the old baseball gear from when he was growing up. So he knew, okay, this probably isn't the right setting for me to
No, he
bust
just
out
did
my
a
old stuff.
first pitch and all the Guardians gear actually this season.
Yo, you want him to wear the jersey they gave to him to throw out the
Maybe the
opening
ball
pitch?
cap,
He
anything.
already framed it.
Just something to show that he was supporting Cleveland.
I think he was supporting his lady with the ball cap, right? I don't know. I think that was a Taylor support. So the guy can't do anything right, these people say.
The Guardians are in the ALCS, brother. Throw on a hat or a shirt.
He doesn't have to.
He can do whatever the hell he wants.
And I love Travis Kelce, but come on.
Well, and also, I like that everything he does is now documented.
It's crazy.
I was walking back from the Apple store the other day, had 4 people chasing him. And I saw a meme on the internet my wife showed me, and they were like, the Swifties were like, look at him walking around without security. It's like, there's no way Travis Kelce ever in his life thought, I need security. This dude's 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah.
Fucking dog from Cleveland, Ohio. And then I do wonder if anybody around him is like, hey, you should start thinking about maybe.
A lot of wackos out
You should think
I
about
think he usually does. I think he does have to have people.
And then how sick of it is he? Like, if he does normally have people around him, he's probably at the point where he's like, I don't need security. What are we even? Because you almost draw more attention whenever you have security around you.
Yeah. Some people definitely do. Yeah, some people definitely do.
So it's like him sneaking out to the Apple store without having it, and then people finding him taking pictures. It's like he's obviously going to handle it with class and everything. He's a great representation of it all. But like everything he does is being tracked now. And I think he's been a phenomenal partner for the biggest star on earth through this entire thing, representing football well. But everybody's learning a lot about Travis, And football people aren't used to just having every part of somebody's life tracked. So it's an interesting time right now for Trav, I think. But boy, it looks like they're in love.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Can't question
That
that.
birthday celebration, they had the hug, the kiss, smooching.
Yeah, smooching all the time.
You guys were saying they were going to break up.
I never said that.
You did.
No,
you did.
no, I did not.
Ty,
You did too.
No, I did not.
Thank you.
I did not. Once I tell you, Ty, honestly, single-handedly convinced me that they were in fucking love. I may have had some doubts early, which ain't my business. It's their personal relationship. But Ty, hey, man knows love when he sees it.
Yeah, how could you not?
We said it. I said from the get-go, these two love each other, okay, and they're gonna get married, and we can do the whole fugaze. Hey, we saw the letterhead on one of his agents' desks. This is the play and break. That was bullshit.
That was fake.
That was bullshit.
High
from
school
the get-go.
project.
Exactly.
Look amateur.
I mean, you're taking in a ball game in the mecca of the sports world last night. And granted, his team didn't win. That's gonna happen sometimes. But so we're gonna chastise him.
He's hanging out with Taylor.
Yeah, exactly. How do we know she's not a Yankees fan?
Date night.
You're right.
Yeah, what if you didn't want to rub it in her face?
Exactly.
It's their bye week. He can do whatever he wants.
Bingo.
Wait.
Well, it was there, by the way.
Well, what are you talking about?
Wait, they're not on a bye this week? He's in New York?
And last week they're
I got the.
This guy's an asshole.
Absolute asshole. He's reading all the tweets.
He is.
He said, well, how can I deliver that message in a condescending fashion? Yeah, he's on a plane that's bigger than most of those buildings in New York over there.
I kid. I have fun doing it, though.
All right. Anyways, baseball did happen. That's a bigger story. Ty, baseball's delivering seemingly every single night.
Yeah, the postseason has been absolutely phenomenal thus far. We talked about it a little bit earlier. There's a chance we get a Subway Series in the World Series.
Whoa!
Come on.
Subway World Series.
Yeah, it would be pretty.
The size of those rats.
Oh my god!
And the Subway World Series,
without a doubt. And it's kind of weird because now with the subways, you can't find anything on the subways without some homeless guy pushing someone into the tracks and killing them, or someone getting their throat slashed.
It's still like that? I saw it a couple months ago.
I think it's still like that. So if we do get a Subway Series, maybe we just do like an Uber Series and just avoid the subway.
Bicycle.
Yeah, bicycle. They're a city bike.
Ooh,
but
that'd be bad.
Dodgers won Game 1 of the NLCS, and then the Mets had an absolutely massive day yesterday. I believe Hembo sent the stat. We were talking about the Grand Slams and just how kind of crazy it is. There have already been 4 Grand Slams in the postseason this year. There were 3 combined in the last 2 postseasons. 5 is the all-time record for Grand Slams in a postseason. So we're getting a lot of home runs, a lot of close games too. Like this one was a blowout, but when the games aren't blowouts like this, they're typically coming right down to the wire. Yankees and Guardians, obviously last night in New York was game 1 of the ALCS. The Yankees won a couple big flies from Soto and Giancarlo Stanton. So, yeah, I mean, really, not to piss off people in Cleveland, I get it, but ratings-wise and just like for baseball as a whole, if you get Yankees-Mets or Yankees-Dodgers, like that is massive for baseball.
Yankees-Mets won't be a problem for the rest of the country?
I don't think so.
That's what I want to see, honestly.
I watch, if it's electrifying, which baseball has been this postseason, I'll watch. You said the 4 grand salamis.
Mm-hmm.
Are they getting too easy now? Are grand slams too easy?
Are the balls juiced up or something? Yeah, they're juicing the balls.
Balls were juiced a couple years ago. I think guys in general, we've talked about this, it's like yesterday the Dodgers did a bullpen game, so they didn't have a starting pitcher, so they basically, like, a guy will throw 1 inning, a guy will throw 2 innings, a guy will throw 1 inning. They do that the whole game. So you're seeing guys who aren't maybe as dominant as, like, an ace out there, so not necessarily used to – the guys are used to coming in like the 6th or the 7th inning or the 5th inning or whatever it may be. They're not used to starting a game, so that can kind of fuck with some pitchers, so guys getting on early. And I mean, everyone throws so damn hard now that the hitters, like, if guys make contact – everyone is throwing like 97, 98 plus. So, like, when guys do get a hold of it, like, they're fucking hitting it a long way.
Oregon baseball's got a couple guys that throw 99. Ain't that right, Gumpy? We talked to Coach out there a couple times.
Yeah, Coach had the juice.
Coach has a lot of intensity, but I guess people are throwing the ball faster, which means you would hit them the balls further. That leads to 2 superstars that are currently still playing that people have been chatting about. Has Aaron Judge figured out how to hit baseballs?
He's had better at bats. He's still kind of choking a little bit, and it hasn't really mattered as much because the Yankees made pretty quick work of
they're
the Royals.
They're saying mean stuff.
Yeah, they're which, you know, I mean, you look at what he did during the regular season. Otani's been a little bit better, but he hasn't been great either. But the Juan Soto is also one of the best players in baseball, and Giancarlo Stanton he's a playoff performer, and he's been huge for the Yankees. So still early. You know, these are 7-game series now, so he's got a little bit more time. But yeah, he's got to get going here because if he continues to kind of slump and the Yankees were to lose this series, or you lose
the Subway World Series, and Aaron Judge is doing what he's doing, right?
He's going to take a lot of heat.
But I heard Bruce Brown, who's a diehard Yankees fan, has the NY on his forehead here last couple of days. Before that was the Raiders.
Sure.
It was the Giants.
Right.
You know,
et cetera.
The Rangers, I think, had one in there at one point. But he posed the question, would you take Aaron Judge in a regular season knowing what he's coming, regardless in the postseason of how he has played with the regular season?
Without a doubt, he's the reason they're here. Like, for a very long portion of the season, he was the Yankees' only offense. Like, he was single-handedly winning them games. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like that just might, like, he's put the Yankees on him and Juan Soto. They've put the Yankees on their back the entire 162 games, so you could see how mentally and everything, like, he knows how much pressure's on him. The Yankees haven't won a World Series since 2009 or 2010, I can't remember which one it is, and he's the first captain since Derek Jeter. So, like, he's got a massive fucking weight on his shoulders, and the Yankees they couldn't beat the Astros. Like, they've had teams that they just couldn't get over, and now this year it's kind of there's 4 teams left, so all these teams are obviously very good, but a lot of people are saying, like, hey, if they're going to win a World Series, like, it kind of got gift wrapped this year. Like, they kind of have the Guardians number a little bit. They have for a long time. So if he can't get it done this year, like, yes, it'll get really loud, but he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's unbelievable. You know, you expect at some point he'll get it going. He just hasn't yet.
They're saying mean things. Bruce, what were they saying? They were saying bad stuff about Judge, weren't they, Bruce?
A lot of mean stuff, but he is playing better. He scored a run. He made some great plays in the outfield, so he's not, like, just dead weight, like, shaking in his boots out there. He's poised and ready to launch. But, Giancarlo and stuff are doing enough right now.
He's ready to launch.
We're rock hard, and we're ready to watch him go yard.
Aaron Judge was ready to launch. He launched throughout the entire regular season. Then he just came back down to earth here during the playoffs, and you caught him, just like they caught that one rocket.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you just did there. You say, hey, listen, you did good out there. Okay, we'll hold you.
I'll defend this guy until I'm blue in the face, because he did. He's so fucking good. And it also is tough in the playoffs. I mean, these guys are used to, like, you get in a rhythm and you're taking at bats every single day. And then like that first series, like they're playing a game, then they have 2 days off, and then they're playing again, and then you have a couple days off and you're traveling. Like it's just different than the regular season. But that's no excuse. He's one of the best players in baseball, and his big thing is they've been setting the table for him. So like Gleyber Torres has been batting leadoff. He's been getting on. Soto's been getting on behind him. So in a lot of these games, it's been like the first inning, and Judge has had an opportunity with 2 guys on and no one out to like, in playoff games, like scoring first is fucking massive.
Let's go, Judge.
So he needs to come through.
Judge going to budge a ball down.
I think he will.
Yeah, he's going to start budging.
He's going to launch. He's primed.
Speaking of the launch and the land, that rocket shit was crazy.
That was crazy.
So that's just what's happening now?
I guess.
Looks fake, doesn't it? Looks fake almost.
We're just sending them to fucking space, and then they're coming back, and then we're just catching them, and then we're reloading people, and then we're sending them back up there. It's become just a one-way trip.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting round trip. I'm sorry.
Just for SpaceX.
That is an interesting. That's a very interesting game. That's
Elon's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he wanted to save the other 2 too from the other one.
Yeah.
And I think he's heading to Saturn or something.
He's doing obviously some great things, like advancing humanity. But this guy, man,
he's an alien.
He controls.
There's new robots.
Half the satellites up there now. He got robots.
He got into
robo
a new
vans. Like,
yeah, the robo taxi looks cool. The robo taxi looks cool.
The Optimus dude, the actual robot that you could hopefully. I mean, in a couple of years, that thing might be legit.
$25,000, $30,000 says it'll wash your car every day.
Get one?
That sounds like something you'd like to have around, but I don't want it to be nosy. I want it.
Guess what? Hey, that's programmed into it.
No, it's going to be outside, plugged in, outside.
Yeah.
It's going to be like a hose.
I'm sure that thing being connected to your system and plugged into your house will cause no problem.
It's not going to be plugged in my house. It's going to be a generator outside.
So he's going to have an army of robots. He's an army of cars and automatic cars and spaceships and all those satellites and the internet. And you're right.
He's doing it in our country, though. He's trying to make America great again.
Yeah, well, he's wearing that on his hat.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's wearing that on his hat, which has certainly got a lot of people buzzing.
Yep.
A lot of people certainly buzzing. He's an alien, right? In my eyes, I've been saying this for a while now. This dude's become a billionaire like 7 different times.
Could be.
With so many different. And then he just built his own spaceships, just go back home. Oh, yeah, SpaceX, we're trying to intergalactic.
Go back home.
Go back home, and he comes back with a new idea. Becomes a billionaire again. Oh, we got this new digging thing. It's really good. Oh, how's it work? Well, you fucking okay, cool. I'm just gonna start digging stuff. Las Vegas to LA. I'm gonna dig
Is that done yet?
Chicago.
Is that still happening?
I don't know.
He's still doing it.
They
Still
made a
doing
huge
it, but I don't
deal
know
about
what.
that, and then it was just like, oh yeah, we kind of just stopped.
Yeah, because it started to seem like it was just gonna be we were gonna start just driving underground.
Yeah, because the big thing was like you will be able to go from a certain place into Chicago to like O'Hare in like 5 to 10 minutes, and people were like, yeah, let's fucking get that done right now.
Yeah, and he figured out a deal to make money off the tickets.
I thought they did that, but it's only Teslas. So like, that's why it's not as big of a deal, because if you don't have a Tesla, you can't use it.
I think it just takes a while to dig the tunnels.
Yeah, but not from the planet he's from.
Exactly.
He's trying to. Hey, keep going, Elon.
I mean, 2/3 of all satellites orbiting Earth. I don't know. Maybe I just watched too many movies.
Is that real though? Because I know
real.
he just got access into the one part of the sky. That's all I saw. The last thing I saw when they were trying to get Starlink in a little bit. We tried Starlink internet. Where were we when we tried Starlink? It was like very slow. It was like.
Was it in Ireland?
It's a very bad upload.
That was a road show, wasn't it?
I forget what it was. It was very
I thought it's gotten better, right? Hasn't it gotten a lot better? Because doesn't he keep putting satellites up every time he launches something?
So I think that's like he was able to get access to that one part of the sky. AT&T and Verizon allegedly were working. It was some part of the app. I don't fucking know, but it was somewhere up.
Nuts.
They own the airspace, I guess, for their satellites. He was able to get in there. I think that has certainly helped with the the thing. But yeah, I mean, if he's going to compete against legacy brands, I assume what Elon is going to do is he's going to come in and just take.
The Chicago project got canceled.
Oh no!
It was $1 billion, and I guess they basically denied it. The transportation scholars, it's called.
Oh yeah, the one in LA is the one I was talking about. My bad.
No, this is the Chicago one.
Yeah,
I think, right.
Yeah,
the LA one's Teslas.
Yeah, I thought they opened it. I remember seeing videos of the Teslas underground.
Yeah,
and
what I'm reading,
there is, yeah, just not far.
The rocket thing though is very fascinating because, like, I mean, it's just becoming too easy, right?
And he does it way cheaper. He's done it way cheaper than NASA ever did.
So are we all going? How's that work?
I'm not going.
Going where? Where are you going?
Not after what Shatner told us about space. No way.
There's nothing up there. It's so scary.
Yeah, thought it was going to really help me out.
And how come I was always told these places are so far, these other planets? And then Elon's like, we need to figure out how to live on these other places. So he's not even worried about getting to them. He's talking about we need to be able to live on another planet when this planet inevitably tries to take us out like it has so many times in the past, yada, 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 or whatever the case.
Isn't that the whole thing, though? In order to get to these planets, they need to develop like the hypersleep bays because it's like a 3-year journey. So like you need to basically just
It takes
Pandora, brother. Avatar.
9 months to get to Mars is what it says.
9 months is a long time in a fucking tube.
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah,
Aren't they already? They're already trying to put people together for that.
I'm sure there's people that sign up for that. I'm sure there's.
I think they're trying to find like the 2 or 4 people that could, live with each other for just that long, just to get there. Like it's a long time for someone if you don't enjoy each other.
That's what that Chris Pratt movie's about. Passengers, and then their bays like malfunction, and they wake up in like the middle of like a 20-year journey.
Shocker! It's a
when
love
everyone
story.
else is sleeping.
Avatar too.
It's a horror
Yeah, exactly. Jake Sully has to sleep before he gets to Avatar.
You ever see that?
Yeah.
Jake Sully though said, "Cool, send me. I can't walk here. I can walk there. Sweet. Let me go and do this. I'll do it."
They got unobtainium up there. Yeah, I'm going.
A lot of people had the same thought. Though.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people were looking for unobtainium.
They were.
Too many.
Last one was.
And then they found the whales.
I didn't see that one. I still haven't
It was
watched
sad.
it.
They're sucking the juice out of the whale's brain.
I like those whales. They were so good. Those whales were so nice and so kind.
Yeah,
they did the whole.
we didn't love that one.
Next one's going to be cool, though.
I doubt it.
That's another one. Finally
I'm done
coming
with it.
around.
I'm watching Bluey now.
Nice.
Bluey's a good program.
It is a good show.
Bluey's good.
Oh yeah.
Is Pupstruction's okay?
Is that part of the
Paw Patrol?
Yeah, Paw Patrol universe.
Potentially. Yeah. There's also Netflix just has like previews.
Yep.
Of all the kids' movies.
Just let those run,
buddy. I don't know if I'm teaching ADHD or what the case is, but that's like 30, 45 seconds. We're in. Then the next one comes. And then the next one comes.
That's the world now.
And then we're baby shark, baby shark, baby shark, baby shark. Yeah, they do the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
And then you go to the next one. Then you go to the next one. And then it's baby shark, baby shark, baby shark, baby shark. Boo! Halloween version.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
That is a good one.
You see,
that is a good one.
That one
cool.
changes from the original one.
Remix.
Yeah, and then there's a summer one. You see that the shark crew, that team.
Yeah, Ping Fong.
Boy, they fucking figured it out.
Oh yeah.
Because every single time they hit Kenzie.
Yeah.
With it.
Oh yeah.
Grandpa Shark.
Yep.
Boo. Halloween version. Good for them.
Got to figure it out.
Yeah, they do.
They got to figure it out.
I watch some of those things though. Like there's a dude who's like the modern day Blues Clues guy.
saw
he's
him.
the worst.
Whoa.
Don't watch him.
Who the
He
fuck?
pooped on his friend.
Who? Actual Blues Clues guy?
Blippy.
The Blippy guy?
That's it.
Blippy. He's got glasses.
Blippy.
Yeah, he's trouble.
I think he challenged. I think another guy is Blippy now. Didn't he pass it down or something?
I don't know. They got a lot of juice though. A little bit too much.
That guy,
Steve?
That guy sucks.
Steve's been long.
Yeah, we're sweet talking Steve.
There's no one I hate more in my house than Blippy.
Yeah. When is that the dude that's popping up? Showing me what a lighthouse is behind me.
He's not allowed to be watching our house. 'Cause
Probably.
He pooped on his friend, and then he decided, I'm going to teach kids.
Are we sure about that? Are we
Is that
100%
real?
sure
What do you
this
mean?
is true?
Yeah, pretty sure. 99.9.
How? What happened?
He's real loud juice. And then there's the Trolls series are great. The Trolls series are fantastic.
The movies.
Yeah.
If you give a mouse a cookie, the TV show is phenomenal. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
You do have to enjoy them a little bit.
You do. I'll sit down and watch them with Sesame Street. Obviously, is good. They got a lot of good guests on there.
Kids YouTube star Blippy regrets the viral video in which he poops all over his friend.
Okay.
Before he was Blippy of Mr. Rogers for YouTube age, he was Steezy Grossman. And he pooped on his friend.
No.
Don't compare this guy to fucking Mr. Rogers.
Did it?
Just
did
like
it get a
I
lot of
fucking
views?
said he did.
Disrespectful shit I ever
So
seen.
AJ's a big fan of this guy.
Easy gross.
Got
I could never.
poop in my fingernail. Poop in my fingernail. That's what you're doing?
Steezy Grossman couldn't see that coming.
Yeah, I assume Steezy Grossman did some other stuff. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steezy.
He's not allowed.
If we wanted to roll through the regrets, I assume Steezy has a plenty, but
The big
he's
Steezy.
got a lot of juice for this kid's YouTube Mr. Rogers series he's trying.
He doesn't even teach either. He just goes to places where kids aren't, just like pushes them off whatever they're doing.
That is not what Steezy's doing.
Watch it.
I gotta watch this show.
They got a lot of options for kid stuff.
Yeah, they do.
On Netflix?
Yeah.
We live on Disney. The Disney.
Yeah,
app.
Amazon Prime is also great.
Really?
Yeah. Prime,
Okay.
Prime Video is top notch.
All right, I love that. You know what else is top notch?
What's that?
Getting smarter every week.
Hell yeah,
man.
And then what's all about? An educational program.
Always.
We just did it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Holy
did.
shit, the amount of things
That's
we
what
just said.
Blippi's all about.
Steezy Grossman.
Well, Steezy, but also everything else about the rockets and how long it takes to get to places. I'm sure we are right about all that.
Yeah.
I'm sure 100%.
100%.
Definitely. Yeah. You know what we're definitely right about?
Huh.
We talk ball.
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for week 6 of the NFL seasons. Everything DB. Good D, bad D.
Yes, sir. Starting with, who we starting with this week? Hey, could have been a Brian Branch highlight tape with the game that he had. Should be the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. I don't know if they announced it yet. Everyone's seen this interception right now with this belt to ass whooping that took place in Dallas. So right now we got a bunch to Dak Prescott's left. And it looks like to me some type of man-to-man coverage, maybe with some zone droppers or maybe a zone match concept where the defenders are matching guys one-on-one. You see the guy highlighted, that's Brian Branch. He's going to play his man and then sink back and take away CeeDee Lamb. So right now, pre-snap, if you circle or highlight the nickelback right now, and I don't love this, nickelback, that guy is blitzing. Once again, they're playing in Arlington. Hey, coach would be saying, hey, he's blitzing from, Frisco or wherever. Blitz from way too far away because he'll never get to Dak by the time he throws the ball. If you highlight the next guy, Kirby Joseph, on the far hash away from the bunch, he's actually going to be responsible for CeeDee Lamb. Right there. So he's actually covering CeeDee Lamb. He's going to be responsible for him. CeeDee Lamb is going to run a 7 route, a flag route, an outbreaker. So when you snap this and you run it, if you pause it right now, if you run it back right here, as soon as he breaks, Dak Prescott sees, hey, I got pressure coming. The guy responsible for 88, he's never going to make it there. I just throw this ball to the corner. He'll get there. What he doesn't see is Brian Branch at the bottom of the film, seeing his guy, feeling his guy, keeping his eyes back on the quarterback, though. So body presence, he sees that jersey color flash. Dak Prescott does. He thinks the flat is taken away, flips his hip almost like a combine drill, gets back and takes away this ball like a nasty interception. Once again, Dak Prescott thought, hey, pre-snap, if this nickel comes and that safety, he's covering CeeDee Lamb from the other side of the field, there's no way he makes it over there. He thinks this is going to be an easy touchdown. Brian Branch does an unbelievable job taking away the flat route and then having that awareness to get back and go up and pick that ball up.
It's actually the right throw, right, by Dak?
Right throw,
Seemingly.
right read. I know the result is, oh, my God, he threw it right to his lap, such an easy interception. What was Dak Prescott looking at? If you see it from the back copy, you can see it even better. And obviously, everything happens fast. It's 3rd and 5. Once again, there is pressure coming after him. So he's thinking, once he sees it, pause. Yep. He sees it. Pressure's coming. I read it. 31 is still in the middle of the field. You see him down here at the bottom of the screen, so there's no way he's going to get to 88. In theory, he doesn't. Obviously, Brian Branch does, though. So great play by Brian Branch.
Oh,
wow.
Once again, had a great game wire to wire.
AJ, this dude's phenomenal. Not just reading stuff and having football intuition. Precision. We're talking precision hands.
Precision. It's something we've seen all week. We're seeing, I think, Peanut. Peanut Tillman was a guy who, I know at least in my generation, he kind of led the wave of this, punching the ball out, not necessarily even tackling ball carries, just tackling the ball, punching the ball out. Some people will call it the peanut punch. Others call it the Pagano punch.
No. Nobody calls it the Pagano
Are you sure?
punch.
They should.
No, somebody tried to call it the Pagano punch whenever they put out a video, and Peanut was not happy for good reason.
I saw it.
And Pagano said, no, that's Peanut.
Okay, so we're gonna keep it at the peanut punch. And I saw you tweet about this. We had T.J. Watt. He had a couple of these. Fred Warner, it seems like he has one every week. We'll see another one coming up after this. But this is what guys are doing now. And we've always been taught to attack the ball, rep it every time, offensive players in practice, the plays over for 2-3 seconds, defenders still punching at the ball. You saw Terrion Arnold, he punched at it first, and then Brian Branch coming in here. Ball's on the inside arm. So a lot of coaches will say, hey, put that ball on the outside arm, near sideline, and this is why. Just a great locked in. The receiver actually taps it back inbounds with his left hand and then run to the ball, scoop it up. Be an athlete. If you're a DB, don't fall on it. Scoop it up and try to score that thing. So great job by Brian Branch and Terrion Arnold right there after the catch was given up.
I love the punches, man.
Yeah, it's great. It's so
Hey,
sweet.
D-Bud, it used to be, hey, if you're second or third man in, punch, rake at that ball. Now it's like, hey, it doesn't matter. You're first man in. Hey, if you miss a tackle, whatever, take a good hard punch at this thing. Like that's what I love what the defenses are doing now.
Is it boxing class? Legitimately, is it boxing classes?
If you go back to the wild one, to AJ's point, Arnold, he's the first guy there, and he punches at the ball.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was talking to you earlier, like when you punch at the ball, the offensive player, the ball carriers, their first instinct is to kind of clinch up. Like they're not trying to break the tackle and score anymore. Once you attack that football, because they know, guys, we've seen running backs be pulled out of games and not get any more carries. Once they fumble that ball, the ball is a program. So you see Arnold going for it, and then once again, Brian Branch. I mean, you got to practice it. You got to rep it. And just like anything else, the players are so good. They could obviously pay attention to small targets, and it's just an evolution of guys doing this week in and week out.
Look at the little window he has to punch through there. Because you punch a face mask, that's going to hurt.
Yeah, broken elbow hurts.
Yeah.
If you miss, though, like if you miss, you're landing kidney shots and rib shots and knocking the wind out of people, too. Like that slows them down as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but if you get checked, that's an elbow or a forearm.
Yeah, that's,
break your hand.
You pay. That's how the game works.
Risk reward.
Risk reward.
It certainly is, but I'm saying these guys are more accurate seemingly than they have been. They have to be working. Have to be working. And here's another one I don't even think anybody saw.
Yeah, got to. So Antoine Winfield back on the field, made his presence felt. Zion McCullum has been having a great year. Outbreaking route, 2nd and 15. So this is just kind of a get back on track play behind the sticks, trying to get a third and manageable, maybe 3rd and 8 after this. Olave catch this outbreaker. Great job tackling with leverage. We talk about it all the time as defenders. Tackle with leverage. And you'll see this from the back copy once again. If you're an athlete, if you're a DB, and you got space, it's not a crowd. Scoop that thing up. We also rep this in practice as well. Scoop and score. Be an athlete, change the game. Good ball from Rattler, catches it, tackling with leverage. Watch 2-3. Tyke Smith with the punch. I believe his 2nd forced fumble in the year. So once again, going for that tackle, seeing the other guy, securing the tackle with your left hand, punching up with the right hand. Ball comes out. Boom. It was quick. Bang, bang. Some people thought maybe this wasn't even a completion yet. Got it, and then once again, as an athlete, wide open field, scoop that thing up and go score.
Hell yeah, some good D.
Yeah.
Good D. We're throwing some hands in the D.
Attack that football.
Yes,
man.
we certainly are. Okay, let's go for a game winner.
Game winner. I talked about Teron Johnson. Oh, we got the red line up there too. So, red line, we heard Aaron talk about it. The red line is on every practice field, pretty much splits the bottom of the numbers in the sideline. I believe that distance is about 13 yards between the numbers in the sideline. So you would say that red line is about 6.5 yards. So right here, rewind it to the beginning, Pat. Cover 2. They rotate pre-snap. It looks like single high right here. So maybe a cover 1, maybe cover 3. The nickel ends up being the deep half player. Now, as a cornerback up top, the guy lined up across from Mike Williams, your first responsibility in cover 2 is to get a reroute. And that reroute, you want to push him inside to put him closer to that deep half safety because he's responsible for both verticals to his side, both deep routes. And if I push him closer as a cornerback, that makes it his job easier because once again, now, once he makes that release, Aaron Rodgers wants him to kind of bow back out and wide and get back outside those numbers closer to that red line. Because once you do that, you put more stress on that safety where he can't cover both guys. So you'll see Johnson right now, he's obviously going to take the one that you have the number 1 on. That's his most dangerous threat. So he's going to relate to him, flip those hips, and now his eyes are there. And then he sees Aaron. You'll see it better from the back copy as well.
Hand up, too.
Yep. Great job. And then watch 7 right now. His eyes are back. He squeezes into that first one. He's going to flip his hips, locate the ball, and makes a great catch going to the ground to finish and seal this game. And once you see it from the back copy, you see right now Mike Williams is trying to adjust because Aaron is throwing kind of to that spot. And it's an underthrow for sure. And underthrows, we see it typically work out better for offenses because they're looking for the ball. And if he was wide, Dan Orlovsky had a great breakdown of this play as well. If he was wide and it's an outside coming in, it's a much easier catch for Mike Williams. But he's inside trying to break out, trying to get his eyes around. Obviously not as good as an athlete as Johnson is getting his eyes. He slips, falls down. I mean, that catch is unbelievable.
Insane.
But if we see Aaron one more time, he kind of tries to look the DBs off and throw it kind of late, throw it blindly, because once again, he's expecting this guy to be out there. So he looks right, looks left, looks back right, late, and just throws it up. So looks right now, okay. I see he sees him rotate back to that double high. look left, and then he's going to, boom, just kind of throw it, and you expect your receiver to kind of be there.
Jeez.
Great play from Teron Johnson. Had a big impact on this game. Get back out there healthy for that Buffalo Bills defense.
Hell of a catch.
That was
legitimately. But to Dio's point there, we've seen, you come in from out this way, it's a little bit different than having to flip back this way, and then a guy beats you to it over the top pretty much.
Much easier if you're outside coming in to catch that football.
Well, and also, maybe they get on the same page, especially with Davante being added in there. Hey, this is what he likes to look for. This is what the future could look like with him and Mike Williams. He said, I was asked specifically about that play. I gave an answer.
Yep.
Play. I assume, you're going to take that however you want, AJ, but he was just trying to explain what happened on that particular play, and a lot of people saying he didn't have to do it that way. And, maybe, but if they go on to win here, and Davante becomes a guy, Mike never catches a ball again, this is probably going to be the reason why. This is probably going to be
they're shopping him right now.
Okay, this is probably going to be the reason why. And let's go some bad defense, even though we don't love doing it.
And on the flip side of that, it was a great play, pre-snap and post-snap from that Buffalo Bills defense. And
absolutely.
Great outing from Caleb Williams out there in London town. This was one of his 4 touchdown passes. I believe we talked about this play or showed this play yesterday. This is the double screen. So you see Keenan Allen right here with the eye candy pre-snap. Then he goes out, becomes that swing player, pump to him. Then you pump here to a play. I believe Zito said they ran a similar play earlier to kind of set this one up. So now you're faking the Swift. You got a free rusher right here with Travon Walker, who had a great game last week. And then you get Cole Kmet wide open up the middle of the field, catches it, can't get him on the ground. But great execution by the play caller here, Shane Waldron. And then once the call is made, Caleb Williams actually executed
Have
here.
to have the patience.
You got to have the patience. You got to have the trust in it. Watch 33. So once again, 44 is going to come clean. They don't block him at all. But watch 33, the blender he's put in, middle linebacker. React slightly to the first pump. Second pump, okay. Going to the second guy. Never even looked at Cole Kmet running right by him.
Oh, good play. Good play. It's a good play.
It's a good play. You've seen the Lions run similar plays. You've seen, I think, San Fran and other teams run that play. It's a tough play.
What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to get home. You're not supposed to have that much time, I guess.
Yeah, but, we always talk about reading your keys as a defense. We say, coaches have always said, hey, see a little, see a lot. And if you run it back to the wide copy, this looks like some sort of cover 2 or too high, even though you have that guy running with Keenan Allen, but it looks like too high. And if it's too high, that middle run-through defender, you are responsible for anything running down that middle of the field. So it looks like some type of match, but you look at the corners, they look like flat corners, deep half safeties, so you have to have someone responsible to carry 3 up the middle. I would assume that's 33, but he was putting an absolute blender.
Jeez.
Good play.
Come on, AJ. Figure it out.
Jeez. And Roshan
they got that too high, too.
Before, too.
What'd you say, brother?
On a third down, he had like a 14-yard pass. The same play.
Jeez. Great yak, too.
Yeah. Cole.
And then he was snapped.
Yep. Yeah, he's a monster.
Great work, DB.
Man, good play call. Good play design.
Hey, how about Chicago Bears? How about that NFC North?
Yeah.
NFC North, good. AFC East.
Yeah. I mean, you say that, but you look around a lot of those other divisions, and we're talking about the Jets as if they're going to the playoffs. I mean, damn near every single division has a 1-5 and a 2-4 at the bottom.
No.
Actually, your division has a 1-5 and a 14.
Second best team has 3 wins, brother.
Yeah, no, I see that too. But
what are you talking about? We're talking about the top of the
NFC West.
But we're talking about that second best team being the Finns, and Tua will be back. But we're talking about the third place team being one of the toughest teams going forward.
Whatever
correct?
you guys want, the most amount under 500.
I mean, clearly the worst division is the AFC South. But
what are you talking about? Most amount of teams under 500 come from the AFC East.
No, I see what you're saying. Statistically, of course, but when we're talking about the team in your division that had a bye, there's still
the most amount of teams under 500
I hear you.
are in the AFC East.
No.
I'm just pointing out things. I didn't like it.
I hear you.
Dolphins, Colts,
I hear
that
you.
this week.
But are the Jets a normal under 500 team?
No, they're brand new, actually, brother.
That's what I'm saying. So they're 0-0. So actually, we're the best division.
Yeah, but what about Jacksonville Jaguars? They got another game in England, so they're a whole new animal. You know what I mean? They're going to win probably 5-6 straight here.
Well, another one in England. But so that if they're a whole new animal, they're 0-1 in England. So that's even worse.
Yeah,
than
new animal. That's what I'm saying. They're a brand new animal. They
Brand
forgot the English Jaguar. They brought the American Jaguar.
That's right. Oh, yeah, true. Yeah,
They made
I heard everybody in NFC North is making the playoffs.
There's a
Could.
chance.
Might happen.
He could.
Three teams have made it before, right? I think the NFC East had that a couple years back.
Yeah.
AFC North. did it.
AFC, yeah.
They're going to start cannibalizing each
NFC West did that one year.
Yeah, now division games are starting to happen.
Well, the Bears haven't played anybody yet.
You know, what if the Patriots go on a run? What if the Patriots win 10 straight?
They could.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, but they'll win a couple games here.
No, but any team could believe that.
Yeah.
Like, hey, your team could win 10 straight.
Yeah, but some people just
Like the Indianapolis Colts. AR's back. We're winning 10 straight. So we're going to be 13-3. That's going to be feeling.
If you're on the team, you believe that. Absolutely.
Have to.
Guaranteed.
Man, if you're covering the team and a fan of the team, you're doing the same damn thing.
Why'd the line move the other way when they announced him as a starter?
That's not true.
What do you mean? Who are you talking
Did they announce him as a starter?
Yeah.
Well, the Dolphins were getting 4.5 when Flacco was starting, and then when they announced AR, it went to 3.5.
Oh.
I don't know. You were going to have to
I
ask
was
sports.
trying to
I thought
figure
they
it
said
out.
he'll play. I thought they said he will play, not that he will start.
It's only his 10th start of his career. That's why.
Yeah, in the history of him playing football.
Yeah.
But you asked the books that question. You don't ask me. I'm excited for what AR is about to be for this Colts team. Because you add in an element of to that. With all the throws Joe Flacco showed him, hey, this is what we need to do offensively. We're unstoppable.
Look out.
We're a buzzsaw.
You don't want McDaniel off a bye week, brother.
You don't want to see Snoop, brother. He's ready.
You don't want AR off
He's
2 bye
ready,
weeks.
brother.
Yeah. AR's coming off 2 bye weeks, maybe
If
3.
JT isn't ready, can you just put him at running back?
Jonathan Taylor is an interesting story. Anthony Richardson playing running back. You're saying that on me. I think he's a quarterback.
He's quarterback.
He's a
A
quarterback.
little wildcat, maybe a little wildcat situation with him.
Well, that's the whole thing. Now he came out and said he knows he has to be smarter and slide earlier, go out of bounds. It's like, you just keep, hey, come on.
Play your game.
Best ability is availability.
Impose your will.
Exactly. And Anthony is a dog when he gets
tough.
Yeah,
first
he
couple games, helmet off, popping off, bang.
That Texans touchdown.
That oblique
Carrying 2 guys into the end zone.
bingo, right in front.
That's it.
He's got it.
Chicago pushing the guy in the
Kyle,
zone.
he's got it. He's in there.
Yeah.
Let's go. We just need him to stay healthy.
Let's go.
If he
AR.
doesn't, we know Joe's got good minutes.
Exactly.
He's right,
Correct.
he's right there.
Did he know yesterday? It was announced 10 minutes after we talked to Flacco.
No, but I think Flacco just kind of a go with the flow kind of guy.
He is, isn't he? He just did what he's told.
He doesn't care.
He was in that museum yesterday.
Exactly. Just went to one of the scare things the night before.
Yeah, little scare houses. He's going to be a part of that museum someday.
You will be.
When Super Bowl champion.
Well, even if he
Probably
doesn't,
have his cleats in there.
These ones?
they'll probably retire his number.
Where is that in the stadium? Is that open to the public? It looked like it was
That's in
like
the practice
4
facility.
square feet.
It's in.
Oh.
There's multiple rooms.
Said it was 2 meeting rooms.
Multiple meeting rooms.
Those places, it's also fireproof. So
Nice.
it is. It is.
So,
Stormproof and fireproof.
Yeah, they're not losing that stuff.
But what if the fire starts inside that room?
Well, you would think that because all the shit in there is so hot. You know, a lot of hot items in there.
That's right.
But yeah, there's no flammability in there. None of them.
Got it.
They
Got
actually suck out the oxygen if it happens.
it. Nice.
These
Okay.
are smart studs that Joe Flacco's been wearing. He won't be wearing them this weekend as Anthony Richardson takes the field for the Indianapolis Colts. These things juke and jive with you.
Okay.
These are called Cadix. I believe the person that created these was sitting outside of our gate last week in a very awkward fashion, felt uncomfortable, but he was able to deliver these.
Oh, really?
Nice.
And we're very appreciative.
They're pretty sweet.
They don't look bad.
They look sweet.
No, they look good.
They do.
He said he felt uncomfortable waiting out there, but I want to let you know I appreciate you doing it so we get a look at these things. Remember, these things move a little bit with you.
So you don't tear anything.
Yeah, exactly. Lean with it, Rob.
But they still feel pretty stable when you
you
finagle with them.
That's what they say. Yeah, when it was cutting my hand there, actually. It was pretty sharp.
Yeah.
Pretty sharp there.
I guess
If you're going to Mac Jones somebody or something, you know, where he's kicking people with his cleats.
Yeah, he did do that.
Feels like it.
Ainsworth.
How come the Jags just beat the shit out of the Colts all the time?
Just in
Yeah,
Jacksonville,
what
right?
is that? What's that deal? I don't get it.
I don't like it one bit. And also,
Tough barn.
It is tough barn down Jacksonville.
Yep.
Duval.
Wow.
For us, just for us.
Got that.
What's this for, Colts?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Colts.
Colts.
AR is going to have a big day. AR is going to have a big day.
This one's for Flacco.
Snoop season, brother.
I think there's a lid on it.
Could be.
Ready for Steichen. Call a perfect game.
Steichen.
Yep.
Steichen.
Oh, greatness to Pete. Get down.
Boy.
Okay, you're saying that because you're tired of him saying that during his mic'd up.
Yeah, I don't want him to say that anymore. Say fuck. Or something. Don't say great.
He's not allowed. The owner's on the headset.
The owner is on the headset for the Colts.
That's a good point.
Right down the road. Right down the road right there. On the sideline. This is for gracious to Pete.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gracious to Pete.
Get going.
It's over.
Okay, good.
Sorry, AR.
Joe Flacco.
There it is.
What was that for? What was that
That's
for?
for AR and Joe Flacco.
Oh, okay.
Both came together.
Yep.
No,
Holy
too far
shit!
gone, too
Take
far
the
gone.
hammer out.
Simpatico.
Hammer the Colts. Love that. If you got 2 quarterbacks, you got no quarterbacks. We got 100 of them. So we're off and running. Don't you worry about it. Hey, be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Like our friends at Dude Wipes. Remember the dumpkin spice for your cheeks for the fall.
Nothing better.
That's right.
You've been coffee dumping lately?
Oh yeah. And then once I pop those things, you can't even smell the shit anymore.
That's right, because you smell like pumpkin.
Smells so
Hey,
good.
take a whiff. Take a whiff. Smell that, AJ?
Ooh,
Smell that,
smells
AJ?
like fall. Smells like trick or treat.
Yeah.
Could be you smell your ass cheeks after a dunk.
Could be.
Wouldn't that be wild?
That'd be wild.
Dude Wipes can do that for you. That's only available at Target, but you can obviously get Dude Wipes on Amazon and anywhere else that great things are sold. Shout out to Dude Wipes. Shout out to you for allowing us to do this for a living. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change your life. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.